this should be a big game out here at Elizabeth. Central District yet to be defeated on their home turf. The Magpies a big win last week after a couple of poor showings against Glenelg and Norwood. And not forgetting, of course, Nipper Christie, that the last time these two sides met, Central District defeated Port.
Tremendous performance by the Bulldogs, particularly to win the game at Alberton, and of course here at Elizabeth this afternoon. Back into some good form, the Bulldogs. They'll take it right up to Port.
Opportunity now for Schwert. He's got Braden Lyle today. The change was just made. They've changed their side early in the piece, the Dogs, Nipper.
Yes, they have. Green is out of the side, and well, for Port Adelaide, a big blow. 6-goal kicker last week. Darryl Borlace is out for the Magpies. Cockatoo Collins has gone to the half-forward flank in his place.
And McGowan playing in the centre. He's got the drop in towards half-forward. The kick on the way. Out in the lead is Ingerson. Oh, it's a good start for the Dogs.
He's a good player, Ingerson. Strong mark. And when he's got the break on a player, his pace and his size can be a real obstacle to get around. And this will be a handy one if he can notch 6 points so early in the game for Central.
Anthony Ingerson, he's only 25 metres out, but he's on a very, very acute angle. He's a left footer. I think he's done it. On dream start for Ingerson. The Dogs are away at home. Their first goal.
Always handy to get the first goal on the board against any side in any game, but certainly McGowan is a threat. He's a very effective player, and his use of the ball is excellent. And if you put yourself in the right position, you'll put it straight to your chest. Ingerson did exactly that, and the Dogs are away to lead a goal, and the Magpies yet to go into attack.
Yeah, good start there. Central 1 goal, Port yet to score. We've played almost 2 minutes. Conditions pretty good too. Forecast was for rain, no sign of it at the moment. Lounder wins it. Ginniver gets the kick away from the centre. Smith had his eye on it. Shea Cockatoo Collins intelligently off the ground. Now a chance for Herrera with Smith. Smith intelligently kicks into the forward pocket. Tyler Ream is with him. That'll be an interesting duel, that. Here's Tyler. He's got the football. He tries to keep it in play. It goes straight to Stevens. Tyler has to go in and tackle. Eventually it does drift out of bounds. It's just a little physical here, with Potter coming in and having a few words to Tyler Stevens there as well.
Been plenty of words said already. There was an altercation at centre half forward before the game even got underway, so it's going to be really tight.
Yes, indeed. And out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Dogs. And back there to take that is Brian Herrera. Interested spectators fully armed for football at Elizabeth. Stephen Schwert now. Straight down the middle of the ground, and in her way is Paul Northeast. Talking about reliable players. That symptomatic kick of his is a good one, though. It's in the square. Tyler with the opportunity. Couldn't quite dial off the ground. I think he's done it. Oh, should never have been able to do that. He was surrounded by players. So they square it away, the Magpies, 1 goal each.
The desire of Lyle was far greater than that of his Central District opponents, and there were 2 of them in the square. Northeast drove it in, and Lyle, the presence of mind to quickly kick the ball off the ground, and he's levelled the score at 1 goal apiece.
Surrounded by 4 players, amazing effort.
West Coast Eagles interested in Braden Lyle. Central and Port, 1 goal apiece. Nothing in it, early stages of this game. It's a critical one for Central District. Brown gets the hand pass out wide to Hull, who did some very good things last year. His target down there is Darren Smith. With him is Brian Herrera, who's had a pretty good season. Herrera's got Smith, and the umpire says play on. He might have been a shade lucky there. Abbott gets the hand pass away to Laird, who's standing Williams at the moment. The kick by Laird, not a good one, out of bounds on the full. So Hull to relieve the pressure for Port.
And Central District are going to find it hard to work that ball out of defence with their familiar running play, because Port Adelaide attacking players, they work hard as defenders to hold it in there.
Opportunity now on the far side of the ground for Reimers, Bond, backwards, McKay. Tries to go a bit cleverly inside, Girdham gets it wide to McGowan. His kick towards centre wing is intercepted, but Scotty Stevens comes in to save the day for the Dogs, and I've got a lot of respect for him. What a worker he is.
Notice Mead is loose down here by himself. Not sure what's happening down there, left of screen.
We'll have a good look at that in a minute, and we'll pick up. He might be a loose man in defence, but we'll work out what's going on. He was named at centre half forward, but Hughes has picked up Lurs. And Mead obviously has either picking up the pocket. Maybe the forward's gone up for a bit of a run over centre. We'll have a look at that, but Chapman's got the ball centre wing. His kick now back towards centre half forward, and Simon Lewis in the picture, number 25. He and Hughes had a little disagreement prior to the game. Bell gets it up quickly on towards Cummings. That's good play by the Dogs. Ingerson can't grab it. Now again back to Chapman. The left footer is beautifully put. Oh, good work, the Dogs. That's James Saywell on screen. That's how he got it. And beautifully delivered as a change is made. Rowe coming on, and coming off the ground is Paul Geister. So early changes by Stewart. Saywell from his wing. A goal. The Dogs second.
The very creative player is Gavin Chapman. He was the Bulldogs' best player last week. And his use of the ball is always exceptional. And the way he set this up when he received the hand pass from McGowan was beautiful football. Saywell had made the space right out in front of goal and put the Dogs in front by 6 points.
And Rowe's gone straight on to Shea Cockatoo Collins.
I think they're looking for a bit more pace across that half-back line, Central District, and Rowe will give them that.
2 goals Central, Port 1 goal. 6 points in it. The Bulldogs lead at home. Chalmers wins it, gains 20 metres, goes straight to Stevens. Now Squirt, now out wide. A chance for Chapman on centre wing on the eastern side of the ground. Good kick to Lures, terrific kick. Good work by Central, they're pumping up here. Too far out to score, so Lures gets on with it quickly. He's going to kick well inside 50, outnumbered down there is Ingerson. Had Mead to contend with also Delaney. A chance now for Mead as he sweeps the hand pass infield. Ginniver's got it from Hull, now northeast, draws Saywell. Chance now for Engo from half-back. Player coming at him, that was Gurdon. Short one is okay, Lyle infield. Put his teammate under enormous pressure. That was northeast and they turn it around superbly. This is Rowe, just come onto the ground. The man who gave it to him was Lounder. The kick is very good to Cummings. And Cummings, all of a sudden, with a chance to put this deep into attack, gets on with it. Long kick, it's a high one. Up goes Lewis in front, couldn't control the mark. A chance for Foster as he tries to get this ball away from the danger zone, and does so, but not for long because Saywell's got it.
Saywell kicked their last goal on to Swirt. The Dogs go forward again. Ingerson on a lead, it won't get that far. Well spoiled by Mead. Fiarchi gets a handball inside. Ginniver puts it down. They're under a lot of pressure, the Magpies. And goes Saywell, the ball to ground. Beautifully crumbed by Hull. On his left boot towards Smith. Good play, the Magpies. They're in control at the moment. The handball's a poor one. Lyle's in a lot of trouble. Herrera's got him. Lauderdale's got him. And the umpire says he'll do him.
They're attacking the man very vigorously, Central District, giving nothing away to the running players of Port Adelaide. They're attacking them and attacking them very hard and throwing them off balance.
Good work by the home side, 8 minutes, first quarter. It's been a frenetic start to this big game. Lounder wins it. Hull runs into trouble. As a result, the hand pass putting Williams under enormous duress. Now Ango, that could be holding the ball. No, not this time again, so... The umpire, close enough, he's closer than we are, comes across, he'll ball it up.
One has a feeling that this game could explode at any moment. The pressure is intense and the players are going in so very, very hard.
And in the better parts of last week's game, Eagles and Port Adelaide, it was just like this. But Port Adelaide just managed to be able to do it for longer and longer. And that's really the test when you're playing Port Adelaide, whether you can maintain it. Smith, a tap. Foster called for it. Chaplin wanted it too. Stevens, beautifully done. He got that back, that might have been Squirt that he got it back to. Lowndes got it now, Chaplin in space, Smith's got him, the backup from Saywell's good, it won't sit. Foster comes in, out they go like 9 pins, Saywell keeps his feet. He's got Bell around the corner into the square, but the Magpies have got the numbers back there, and Brett Chalmers will relieve.
Central District Rovers giving Port Adelaide a few problems at the moment with their pace.
Stevens comes in late at Brown, forces the error, out of bounds now. Yes, it's a committed Central District side, but Neville made the good point. This is what happened last week with the Eagles, and they just couldn't sustain it.
Well, this is the test for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. First quarter. Chance now for Delaney. He's got the footy. They've got him. Northeast, clearing the zone, not panicking. Oh, it's not a very good kick, though, and Lowndes on the end of it. He immediately hand passes off. Brian Herrera with a long bomb looking for Lewis, surrounded. No one able to take the mark. A chance now for Bell. Gets the hand pass to Gurdon. He had the ball knocked out of his hands. George Fiarchi will mop up and does well. Gives it to his rover.
Geneva, goal-kicking rover. Kick any last week, and but he normally does feature. Swirt inside. Over the top of it, staying pretty close to it. Finally was Foster. Central District player in that action was Craig Potter. Oh, caught with a footing rate tackle by Abbott. That was on McKay. Back towards half forward, and they win it out through handling.
And that was the tackle of the year by young John Abbott.
Well taken by Ingerson, I would say. Play onto the call. He didn't quite wrap it up. Can't manage it. Bell tosses it out. Too high on him. Now that was either Delaney or Fiarchi. I was watching the play.
Fiarchi, smallest man in league football.
That's Corey Bell.
Just about. Have a look at him.
There's not much of him, is there?
He is standing up there too.
Looks like a mini-league player, but he's got plenty of talent. The kick's not a good one, though. Finally, Lewis. Oh, he's got it back. He can make amends into the open goal. Can he kick it? Not quite. The Crummer. Opportunity, Saywell, or Cummings, that might have been. And Delaney will bring the ball back into play.
Quickness of these Central Districts rovers, Bell and Chapman continuing to do well in the first 12 minutes of the match. They're causing the Port Adelaide defence a lot of problems.
Just reverting back to Bell, I didn't mean that disrespectfully. He's a small man, but he is a very good player. One of three that came from the Bears, Lures and Potter, the other two. Now Angove, so away from half-back, looking for his options. There aren't a lot of them. Eventually he goes short. Oh, have a look at this. He's put his teammate Hull under enormous pressure. A chance now for Potter. Potter's kicked toward full forward. Up they go. Ingerson in front. Opportunity now for Hughes. The hand pass at an angle again to Angove. He's been prominent from the back pocket. Not a good kick, Angove. It goes straight to Saywell. Back to Saywell. Big chance. He got it from McGowan. Saywell's kick to the point of the square. A little bit too far for Ingerson, and Delaney clears.
Delaney gets it to northeast. One of the best players on the ground. Hasn't finished as well as he should have. This time he goes wide. He's sentiment. David Brown over half forward. He wants Williams. Laird controlled the ball beautifully for the Crumb. Abbott's there. It's a free kick. It's too high on Bond. They kicked 6 goals last week. They had 3 of them, the Magpies, last week. Nipper?
He had ball ace, Tyler and Brown, Bond very strong on the forward line, 6 apiece.
18 goals between them. Opportunity for Laird. And he's able to clear to Gurdon. They're out of strife for the moment.
Yes, that sort of looked promising for Port Adelaide, but Central players, the defenders didn't panic. Gurdon's kick is short to Laird. Laird and Stevens, they don't look unalike with the haircut and their size. Laird probably not quite as quick as Stevens. Stevens one of the quicker players. Now that kick by Laird not good. That's the second time in the quarter that he has erred there, not under any pressure at all. McKay about to put this ball back into play.
So young McKay, promising player. Williams, the opposite end of careers. Inside Brown, quick hands is good, but Scott Stevens read it beautifully. It was meant for Smith. He just stole it, plucked it out of the air. The left footer now, through the centre. Cummings underneath it, and he's taken it. Short was McGowan. Bell and Fiarchi. The umpire says Bell interfered with Niver.
I thought that when he was going for the ball, he was going to perhaps play for that, and he did it to perfection, and George fell for the trick.
Clever. Now Swirt. Watch Ingerson. He's got the drop. Well done by Delaney. He just took his steps out of there, Nipper, and
he just put himself in exactly the right position to put Ingerson off balance, and he didn't get a run at the ball. It was well played, Delaney.
And timed it well, so it wasn't a shepherding free. Good teamwork back in defence by Port Adelaide.
Brown to McKay. Out of side again, so Port Adelaide mounting a charge straight to Abbott. It's not the precision and the control we know that Port Adelaide can show. Abbott's short pass is okay. And eventually, Gurdon gets it to Laird. Little short chip pass is good to Bell. Bell in the centre square. Short one again. Out into the path of Cummings. Sweeps the hand pass back. Chance now for Saywell. Good kick. Chaplin, not quite. Geneva. comes at it, turns it around. Hull now from centre wing, western side, gets on with a good kick into the path of Braden Lyle. He's got a big chance here, Braden Lyle. He's a very clever player. Not this time though. It goes straight into the palm of Schwert, and Schwert knocks it to the boundary line.
He read that cleverly, Stephen Schwert. He could see that the loose player was going to be set up. He took his eye off the player with the ball. He knew it was going to Cockatoo Collins, and he intercepted it to perfection.
So he's playing out of a back pocket on Cockatoo Collins at the moment, just with a job to do. Sorry, on Braden Lyle at half back, I should say, with a real job to do on that player. Braden Lyle played in defence earlier in the year. Collins off the ground, spoiled Tyler out of bounds, and Lyle's gone to the forward line, and just shows you how versatile at that age players can be.
I think this is the advantage of Port Adelaide at the moment. They have got the likes of Ango, Cockatoo Collins, Lyle, all these young players that are adept at playing in any position.
Well into the first quarter now, and Brown with a chance, just overran it. Cleverly done there. Saywell, also Ango, the two wingmen. Oh, well done. That was a clever hand pass, Abbott. A series of hand passes. One of them was Lounder. Big chance for Central to build something here. Potter got his hand to it. Ginniver in all sorts of trouble. The umpire says play on. Hughes attempts to kick off the ground. Well done by Lewis, though. That was very clever in the end. Now Laird, a long bomb. Out come the forwards, Ingerson and Delaney. Well, that was a fortuitous bounce for Port Adelaide. Northeast kicked it away from the danger area, and then George Fiarchi kicks it into the pocket.
Not very often you see Port Adelaide under that sort of pressure, where they've got to come from the half-back flank to the other side of the ground and kick the ball some 30 or 40 metres away from the attacking area down into their defence. That's the pressure that Central Districts have applied.
Fiarchi and Northeast just exchanging well dones there. Northeast apologising for the bad kick, but they played well together, that defence. I'm very complimentary. I think that was Bell's shot to Lewis was good.
Rovers are cutting Port Adelaide defence apart, Neville.
And Simon Lewis playing at centre-half forward. What a find he's been. Here he is.
He's a good player. Another one of the best, the players from the north. He's played some good games for them this year. Perhaps a little slight, but he's given defensive players a lot of headaches.
From 25 metres, he's missed it. And let's hope they don't regret that. Now, the Dogs dropped Grant Coffey during the week, and he played in the reserves here today, kicked just a couple of goals late in the game. I thought they might have gone with him again in a special game like this here, and they need goal kickers, but happy to trust Ingerson and Lewis. He kicked only 2 goals last week in their game against South Adelaide, so the Dogs are not afraid to leave big-name players out.
Well, I've got a big chance to score here again. Now, what's the umpire done? He's given a free kick away to Gurdon, who gets a quick hand pass off. That kick by McGowan wasn't all that good, and Ango, but he goes straight to the boundary line. The umpire says throw it in.
Neville, you talk about forward-line players like Coffey. Interesting to note that Tongaree, who kicked 4 goals for Central District last week, was named on an interchange situation this afternoon, so perhaps they feel they've got the players they need at the moment.
Yes, and happy with balance as much as just trying to squeeze the names in. Good play, the Dogs. Ingerson again. And one of the things that Ingerson really gives them up there is he's a leading player, and he leads very intelligently, Nip.
He certainly does, and if you get the ball to him out in front of goal, he's not the most accurate of kicks for goal, as we found out in a few games last year with the Adelaide Crows, but certainly the opportunity from here.
And he comes... puts it up high. Might not even make the distance on this occasion. They're kicking over the chance for Corey Bell. Goal, he's first.
Well, what a start to this game Bell has had. He and his co-rover, Gavin Chapman, they're creating migraines, not just headaches, migraines as far as Port Adelaide are concerned. They're just cutting them apart on the forward line. Their quickness with hand and foot, and Bell read it off hands to perfection, snap from the square, and the Dogs lead by 14 points.
Just not sure about the breeze here. What do you think it's worth, fellas?
Oh, only 1 perhaps. Two at the most. In fact, I'd say it's so negligible it wouldn't make much difference, Mark.
Not a lot of movement there with the trees, is there? So this has been a good start by Central District, and a dream start at home, remembering they did beat Port Adelaide earlier on in the season. Here's McKay at the back. Little short chip pass is not good. It goes straight down the throat of Schwert.
Playing with a lot of confidence, Central District.
Well, he was under no pressure there. There was no real excuse for that. Chapman's got it about 15 metres further downfield. He's on the wing in front of the commentary position. Good crowd here too. They've only averaged over 2,000 for the 5 games. It'd be more than that here. 4 or 5 perhaps today. So well done to the locals and Port Adelaide fans. We certainly know they come out in numbers. Corey Bell is very dangerous. David and Goliath there with Chalmers tackling him. McKay from the centre, long bomb toward full forward. Tylor down there, good work by Reimers at the back. Now Bond, haven't seen a lot of him, although in fairness the ball hasn't been down that end.
He's a real will-o'-the-wisp is Troy Bond, but give him 2 metres and he'll cut you to pieces. But Central's are playing it very tight on him. Obviously they've learnt from his game last week.
3-2 to 1 goal Central lead.
So in round 19, Port Adelaide, or round 9 I should say, Port Adelaide went down by 16 points at Alberton to the Dogs. And whatever it was, they think they've got the message. Well, they've learned how to beat the Magpies, I think they think. But Williams might have something to say about that. Number 10 for the Magpies, kicks his first, and the Magpies second.
Hasn't done a lot in the first 20 minutes, Stephen Williams. But so clever around the goals, and he took it away off the back. Had a quick look, and a very good kicker with the unnatural kicking leg, which is the left one for him. And he's put it through for Port Adelaide's second goal, and a handy one, but they still trail by 8 points.
Good conditions. Central are 3-2, Port 2 goals. 8 points the margin, almost 21 minutes, first quarter. Rucks to it, Chalmers from the left, Lounder from the right. Out into open space, not for long. Schwert's got Lyle, good work by Schwert. They're really applying the pressure, aren't they, Nipper? The physical aggression by Central, there's no questioning it at the moment.
Well, they've matched Port Adelaide in every department, and it's been said throughout the year that Port Adelaide perhaps lack a little bit of pace. Well, that certainly wasn't the case last week, but the way Central District are manning up and using their smaller players to perfection, it does make Port Adelaide look a little slow at the moment.
Cummings now, his kick, Ingerson in front, Delaney with the punch. Hughes tried to punch it as well, Lewis wide, Cummings into the open goal. And the Dogs, his first, their fourth. And they lead Port Adelaide now by 14 points.
What a wonderful start by Central District. Good spoil by Delaney, did everything right, but Lewis read it beautifully to set it up for Cummings. And he ran to the open goal, and after kicking 6 last week, he's off to a good start again this afternoon with his first, and it's Central District by 14 points.
Currently in 4th position, Central District. They've won 7 from 9. They have beaten Port Adelaide this year. They're at home. They're undefeated out here. They've got everything going for them. 4-2 Central. Quarter 2 goals. 22 minutes first quarter. Chalmers wins it. It's a bad bounce for Laird. Rose got it very quickly across to Schwert, looking for someone on centre wing. He's looking for his big ruckman. That was Lounder. Now there's a free kick to Lounder for holding on. Well, Corey Bell was off like a little hare, but he had to give it back to Lounder. Good kick by the big ruckman. And now McGowan into the pocket. That's a terrific kick right on the chest down there of Lewis.
Lewis' pace is giving Hughes quite a few headaches at the moment.
Yes, it is. It's a major problem. And just wonder whether a move will be made shortly, Neville.
Well, Mead would be the player. Obviously, he was named there. I'm surprised he didn't start there.
Started in the back pocket, Mead.
So here's Lewis from about 45 metres out. He's on a very poor angle. Up they go. It's still in play. The ball's still alive now. It's out.
This quickness by Central District, moving all over the big spaces of the Elizabeth Oval. Causing Port Adelaide a few problems at the moment.
From the kick out, 4-3. Plays 2 goals. 15-point margin in favour of the Dogs. Braden Lyle in picture. And last week, Eagles got away to an early start, led by 12 points by quarter time. I think they trailed by, I don't know, 40-odd points. Was it
6 goals? Now it was 9-7 to 3-2, so 6 goals,
right.
5, 41 points at the break.
So now again, Ingerson, and the point I was making was that whilst you can start well on the Magpies, they have this resilience. They come back at you pretty hard, but they're still doing it well, aren't they?
Certainly are.
Saywell. Space. And players moving down the ground into space, Nipper. They're working very, very hard.
Well, the disposal is excellent too, Neville. It's one thing to run to the space and do everything right, but you've got to get the kick there, and Central are doing it beautifully at the moment.
Good point. Good point. Disposal is everything, and gee, wouldn't they have loved that one going into quarter time? Close to the boundary line. Still there. Bell. Pace, have a look at that. Shot to Chapman. Good work again, the Dogs.
There's a difference, isn't there, between the ages of some of these forwards for Central compared to the age group of some of the defenders for Port?
Well, certainly, and I think the legs might be telling at the moment. Bell and Chapman were 1 and 2 as far as Central's best last week against South, and they've started brilliantly today.
So Gavin Chapman, he won't be fazed by the distance, just the accuracy. Although that's not too sharp, he's going to go very close. Well, they're doing it well. The Dogs, he's first. They're fifth at their home ground. 5-3 plays, two goals.
Well, a 21-point advantage heading towards quarter time against Port Adelaide on any ground, let alone your home ground, is a magnificent start, and the Dogs are doing everything right at the moment, making the space, getting possession and kicking goals, and a 21-point lead at the moment.
Impressive start, isn't it? 5-3-33 Central. Port at 2 goals. We've played 25 minutes, so we're into time on. And the Magpies under enormous siege here. Herrera, now Girdham, now Schwert. Away from half-back, northeast, tries to half-volley it. Look at them running in numbers. Hand pass is good. That was Chapman. This is Cummings, another one. It's another goal, and what a terrific quarter. His second, a series of hand passes, and they were running in droves.
As you said, Mark, the running, and Central District have pace and pace to burn at the moment. They're getting in front, first to the ball, players running past, and Cummings has run right away from Geneva, lined it up, drilled it through for his second, and the Dogs on fire. They lead by 27 points.
Trent Cummings, 2 goals, a good performer. Central is 6-3, Port Adelaide 2 goals in a sizzling start by the Dogs at home in this vital game. The Dogs are in 4th place, having won every game at home. They've won 9, lost 6 for the season. Port have won 12, lost 3. They're in top spot, so that puts it in perspective. Stevens and Chapman work it out between them. The latter runs away with it. His chip is good, and he finds Launder through the centre of the ground. They're doing what they like at the moment. Into space, Cummings in front of Northeast. That player is there. Saywell. Northeast couldn't win it back. Away they go with pace again. He's got the choice, Ingerson or the square. And I think he might have been better off with Ingerson.
Well, I think that was the option, and that's the way perhaps he should have gone. But a decent sort of kick. Neville may have made the distance, but he really wobbled it in there and lost any opportunity. And well, I guess one could say that the opportunity was blown.
Mead now 2 lures, so they've made that change.
I think that had to be the way to go, Mark.
Delaney to Foster. And Foster, oh, that's a terrible mistake. Foster does get away with it. Gee, he was very lucky there. Short one, good kick. So he really redeemed himself there. He had to, didn't he? McKay, half-back. Good kick, delivers well. Up they go from behind. Good punch by the defence of Central District. Stevens, now Schwert. Well, they're just tearing them to pieces all over the place, aren't they? Here's Launder getting another touch. A terrific hand pass infield to McGowan. Now he's run out of options. Eventually goes wide. Well done. He stood and kicked Corey Bell. The short kick by Bell is not particularly good, though. Geneva's got a chance, and he clears the zone.
Well, just for the sake of a poor kick, they would have been having another shot at goal. We've been praising them for their disposal, but I guess they've got to make some mistakes. Brown now towards centre wing. Abbott and Bond. Oh, Bond's got to get a free kick, and does.
Probably the best thing that he could have done, young John Abbott, because Bond would have streaked away from him. So probably what they call the professional free kick.
Indeed. Conceded and saved some ground. Smith, good to spoil a raider. Finally, it's Laird towards half forward. Underneath it, Chalmers. Haven't seen him. He's dropped it. Bell inside. Stevens backs up. And Scott Stevens. On top of it, Hull. The runner is Chalmers. Finally ends up with it, puts it in long. Tyler's hardly had a chance all day. Over the top, into the open spaces. Through for a rush point. Port's first score for some time.
One of the prominent things about Central District's game in this first quarter is that they're going for the punch. On every occasion they're caught behind, and on every occasion also they've had a player at the drop of the ball to take it away.
This is Reimers. Got the job on title. Hasn't had to do a lot of work so far because the Magpies haven't had it down that area. Reimers goes to the far side. Rowe, who came on for Geister, not sure why he went off. He may be injured because it was early in the game. Girdham short, Handley. Danny Hughes stands the mark. Had a few problems with Lewis earlier on.
It was probably to match up for pace, that change just for size and pace, Mark.
And Reimers on the far side, the kick out wide. Herrera So Reimers ran from fullback to the wing and delivered to Herrera, who received the free kick, or he may have been paid the mark. The 21-year-old is taking a while here. Time running out in this first quarter. Lures the target, also Ingerson. Up they fly. It comes to the side. Delaney. Number of Port Adelaide players waiting at the back, northeast. So he'll clear this danger area. He's had a couple of bounces, looking for options. Decided eventually to kick to the wing. Lyle at the back, Schwert, and they're going to bring this in again.
Wrong option by Lyle. He had to punch that away rather than try and mark it. The Dogs do it beautifully at centre wing. Saywell to Cummings. If it sits in for him, he's a chance to score. Right with him is Hull. He played that well. So did Cummings. Caught. Great tackle for Archie. Saywell's got him. He's got nowhere to go. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Corey Bell. Northeast. Forster, Stevens. Spill. Angover around the corner. In front, Swirt. Lyle, what a battle. Swirt this time. He wins it. The crowd love it. Rounder. Gurdon now. Loose ball. Through the pack. He weaved it. Bell, short. Chapman. The siren goes. What a hot game at Elizabeth. Oh, the Dogs. 6-4-40. A great first quarter. Port Adelaide 2-1-13. All the actions on ABC Sport. Start the second quarter here at Elizabeth Oval between the Dogs and Port Adelaide. The Dogs 6-4, Port Adelaide 2-1. What a super start. Can they go on with it? Out of the centre again. That's been their trick. Add pace across the forward line. Port Adelaide have replaced Hughes with Burton to try and get some pace back there, and there's his first touch. The blonde-haired bombshell goes towards half forward. Crumb. Beautifully done, Brown. You want Tyler. Couldn't quite find him. Reimer's right with him. Coming in late on the scene was Rowe. They need a goal and they need it quickly. Williams got one in the first. Over the top of it, Laird. Herrera. Reimers. Well shepherded. He'll get it out of defence towards centre.
Now that was very good, Nipper, wasn't it? Because they were under siege there.
They've got to withstand this first 5 minutes from Port Adelaide because they'll throw everything at them, being down by 27 points.
Handley kicks into the centre. There is Stevens, so too McGowan. Might have got a push in the back. The umpire didn't seem to think so. Jennifer to Brown. Now to Bond from about 70 metres. Long bomb looking for Tyler, who's one out. Oh, good mark, Tyler.
Noticeable that Port Adelaide were lacking in the first term in pace. They've taken Hughes off the ground and replaced him with Burton, who's already had a possession. They've got their live wire Bond on the ball, switching around the ground with Brown. So Port obviously going for pace, and it's paid off with Tyler out in front.
6-2 last week, Nipper. He's directly in front. He should get this. Mark Tyler yet to score a goal, an important one in the early stages of the second quarter. Drop punt on its way. Gee, the umpire's gone a long way to his left and he's missed. Well, Tyler can't believe it. I just get the feeling he thinks it was a goal, but the umpire moved a long, long way. It's 6-4 to 2-2.
They needed it badly, Port Adelaide. As we say, Mark,
make your own luck, don't you?
You must get goals early in the quarter to come back, particularly when you're down by some 20-odd points at quarter time, and Centrals are standing up to it well.
Here Reimers, he's kicked now towards the big fella in Lounder. I think he's found him in front of Chalmers.
Had a lot of touches, hasn't he, Neville?
Yes, he's done well, and his game close to the ground's been pretty good too. Philip Lounder goes on with it quickly. He's got McGowan in space. Off he goes through half forward. Now Lewis will be the target. He had a big first quarter. Mead's there. He started on Hughes. Mead went there halfway through that, and as Nipper reported, off the ground Hughes, as Northeast relieves the pressure, and Collins started on the bench, goes wide. That's Angove and Bond. So they're running a bit harder now, the Magpies, and getting better possession through it. Smith underneath it. Herrera stole it, did it brilliantly. He's got the footy now and plays on quickly through Schwert. That's Laird, but it's all Port Adelaide around centre wing.
Yes, Chalmers should wrap this up, and does. Eventually decides to hand pass to McHale. That might have been Burton. Yes, it was. Good kick.
Move has certainly paid off. Burton 3 possessions in the first 2 minutes.
Here's Lyle. Short chip passes on. That's good. Angove, 55 metres out. They need something to happen here. Smith. Well, something did happen, and he has kicked a goal.
Well, Darren Smith was a player that fired Port Adelaide up just a week ago, and he's burst into the game early in this second quarter. They've been fired up by Bond. Burton's gone to the half-back flank. Cockatoo Collins, another pacey player. Angove on his wing. Now Central District must withstand this, and Smith, the experience, puts it through. And the Maggies hit back, but they're down by 20 points.
So 6-4 the Dogs. Port Adelaide 3-1, 3-2 I should say. 3 minutes in, second quarter, Lounder, Brown in there as well. Opportunity of McKay, Sabo did well to punch it forward. Opportunity now for Handley, good handball to find Cummings. He swapped his long sleeve jumper and he's offline to the left, but that was a good movement out of the centre, and haven't they got the ball out of centre well?
That's the key to the game, and where we saw Port Adelaide last week in particular, the way they ran the ball out with a lot of pace. It's been Central District so far this afternoon with their quick rovers to split the defence apart.
Here's Brown in his own defensive area. Has 2 bounces. Burton does the shepherding on Ingerson. Hull. Haven't seen a great deal of him so far. Early days. Good kick toward Cockatoo Collins. Have to be careful that's not 50. He just gets up. Wants to get on with it, wants some options. Short chip pass, will it come off? McKay up, now the mark has been paid by Lyle, so he had 2 grabs at it.
I think the key to Central District's game is they must maintain their discipline and their concentration and start covering up these Port Adelaide players as they did in the first term.
Here's Lyle's kick, it's offline, it'll fall just short. 2 or 3 against Tylor, Bond. Chance for them to clear the zone, Girdham caught, well done, didn't panic. Laird. Likewise, good kick toward half-back. Foster at the back. Now, a bit of jostling, and the free kick is going Central District's way. It's going to young Bell, or is that Chapman?
That's Chapman, and luckily that he got it, because Port Adelaide had a wall of 4 players across that position.
Cummings, he's showing a clean pair of heels on North East at the moment, but we know all that could change very quickly. Port Adelaide's defence working a lot harder. Delaney now, short to Smith. And he read him well. Smith again short, Bond. Oh, he put it down. Recovers under pressure. Made life impossible for himself. The crowd weren't holding the ball. The Dogs have worked it out. They've got possession back. It doesn't matter. Girdham now. Centre wing. Up they go. Lures in front. The crummer is Hull. Geneva. They work it away. The runner over half forward. Too long. Laird behind. Herrera there. Out of trouble with a chip through the centre. McGowan. Stevens is the runner. He'll carry it through.
Good kick by Stevens. Handley unchecked. Now he's got a bit of time here. He made a mistake there, but there's no one within 15, 20 metres of him. Handley left foot drop kick. The drop punt, I should say, misses to the left-hand side.
Oh, the good work further afield wasted by Handley. McGowan set it up. So creative with his possessions. Put it onto the forward line. Handley inside 50 metres. Really should have converted from there. He dropped the mark. Still had all the time in the world to balance and line up the goals, and with the very slight breeze behind him, he really should have nailed it.
A few more crummers this time, Nipper, aren't there, for Port?
Oh yes, they're looking at a different combination now, Mark, to what they were in the first term.
And while it's not really an issue, I mean, Central have had 12 shots at goal. They've only converted 50% of them. That's 6-6. And like you were saying there, Nipper, I mean, they've only had to, 9 threes, a lot better, and it's not impossible. And against this side, what a difference it could make. Nonetheless, pretty hard to ask for more than what they've done so far as McKay steers the Maggies forward. Williams in space. He was spoiled, distracted well. Bond too high, no free kick. That's ridiculous. Laird takes him to ground. Williams now on his left boot. He'll find Smith or Willie. Good spoil on him. Couldn't pick up the player.
Oh, good tackle.
Smith is a great tackle. Players go to ground. It's a million. There's players everywhere. Herrera. McKay goes down. Lyle's in there. It's desperate.
Oh, my goodness gracious me.
Chip.
That is rough. That is real rough.
Oh, I got a speech impediment at the moment. I can't get it all out. I want to say a bit too much. I agree with you, though.
Every player going for the ball, throwing themselves in, lifting the tempo of the game, and one gets dragged out of the magician's hat, and Porter in front of goal.
Wasn't a rabbit either.
No mirrors here. McKay should steer this through. Oh, they needed that one, the Maggies. The boo's come. Probably rightly so. The Magpies will take it, though. They're 4-2. The Dogs are 6-6.
Well, it was wonderful football. It was just intense desire It could have perhaps been the first free kick given there, but to the umpiring credit, he let the play go on. They were going in hard after the ball. There were several free kicks, let the game go, and it lifted, and all of a sudden, Port had the free kick in front.
Bit of justice, though. I thought Bond should have got that earlier one.
So back in the centre.
But you don't have evener-uppers in footy, Neville, do you?
Oh, hell no.
An important break here from the centre. 6-6 to 4-2. The Magpies trail. Hull, Stevens, clever. Then he got caught, but did get away with it. Potter. So away from the centre. Trent Cummings, who's a dangerous player. North East just got a bit too much pace for him. Not on this occasion, though, and North East kicks it away, but it goes straight to Schwert. It's around an oncoming Port Adelaide player. Here's Cummings again. Kicks to a more central location. No one able to take it. Ingerson was the man storming out from goal. And here's Roger Delaney. Almost stood still then accelerated and bounced. And from half-back gets good distance. Braden Lyle, well done against the ruckman Lounder. And Braden Lyle is away, looks for Smith down there. He's at the back. He couldn't quite control it. They've got numbers at the fall of the ball, though. Williams has a shot, and Smith has got it. Will he kick it off the ground? No, he won't. Did the umpire pay that?
I thought the umpire had put whistle to mouth, but obviously didn't blow it.
Smith a bit disappointed there. 6-6 to 4-3.
And Central District need a goal so desperately at the moment. Port Adelaide, they've got players running. There's Cockatoo Collins. There's Smith in the square. They've got players running into the square, and they're looking ominous.
So Port Adelaide, I thought, deserved that kick to Smith. Didn't get it. Geneva, maybe this time. Brown on a lead is Williams. In the back, but he'll get the mark. And they can't believe it. He felt the hands come up. Hard to pick up there, Nipper, but
a few darts being thrown behind us too, Neville. I think they're intended for the men in white out in the middle, and they're coming from the Central District fans.
Oh, that's okay. I'm used to it out here. Williams now from about 40 metres at goal. It'll drop short behind. Chance for Tyler around the corner. Collins! Courage! Great take.
Great courage too. Cockatoo Collins had to sit, stood his ground, protected himself with the foot out in front, but what a courageous mark.
Well, he's capable of individual brilliance. The margin is 15 points. Not happy with Schwert. Or with Girdham, I should say. And Schwert, in he comes. No difference, though. 9-point margin as Collins kicks his first.
Well, Central District must get back to the basics of football, what they were doing in the first term. Manning up, punching the ball away, having players to the fall of the ball that was so obvious in this first quarter onslaught that they had. It's fallen away, and Port Adelaide have hit back like only they can. They're only down by 9 points.
So how much credit do we give to Jack Cale for making those moves as well?
Well, I think the moves were obvious, Mark. They had to be made. It wasn't a genius move.
Sure.
I mean, they really stood out, I felt. But it's to the players' credit that all have responded in black and white.
6-6 Central. They're 42. Port Adelaide are 5-3, 33. And Central District go forward. This is Stevens. Good kick and a good mark taken by Ingerson. He's about 45 metres out. Good work from the centre, Nipper.
Well, they need a steadier, and if they can get the ball down here in an open forward line, they've got their options. They've got the strength of Ingerson at full forward and the pace of Cummings on the half forward flank, and the two quick rovers in the pocket. They look better then. Directly in front.
Anthony Ingerson from about 48 metres. It's a high drop punt. Will it get the distance? It does, but it is offline to the right. Behind to Anthony Ingerson. And Central Districts goes to... Sorry, Nipper go to 6-7-43. The Magpies 5-3-33.
And only 3 points added by Central District in this second quarter, and they need goals very, very badly. Seen there of the big crowd here at the Elizabeth Oval. And no doubt their officials would be delighted to see the fans turn up in such numbers for this very important game.
Indeed. Roger Delaney, of the form fullbacks, having trouble working out which way to go. Finally, he threads it to Paul North East. Having a tough day out. Started brilliantly, but Cummings has been a difficult player to handle. That'll be a good contest. Geneva caught by Girdham, or Lewis, I should say. And we'll have another ball up. The umpires today are Craig Doddridge and Richard Williams assisting him.
Done a pretty good job in pretty torrid conditions. The pressure right on. Neither side giving 1 centimetre.
That'll get you to the umpire's ball, Nip.
Well,
it's always a good show too.
So they tell me you've been to a few, Neville, haven't you?
No, I've only been to one. I only get to watch the replays. David Mackay gets to them all, though.
Wouldn't they let you back in?
Oh, no. And we have to congratulate umpire Laurie Argent, 400 today. What a super effort that is.
I haven't done anything 400 times.
Oh, yes, you have. McKay goes to ground. Girdham's in there, and we'll have another ball up centre wing.
Well, this game has really lifted. It's been a tremendous encounter here at the Elizabeth Oval. The desperation, McKay, the pace of McGowan got to, and a beautiful executed tackle.
Opportunity now. Collins in there. McKay, quick edge. Jennifer just as quick. With a chance, and Govey wants Tyler. Couldn't quite get there. Williams the crummer. Herrera's there. He's overrun it. Giving Williams the chance. Back to Smith. He's been in everything this quarter. Collins round the body. He's second. 4-point margin.
The manning up has cost Central District in their second term. Only 14 minutes played, and Port Adelaide have come back so strongly. The fumble there, out in the pocket by Herrera, cost Central District, and the players not manning up back there in the square, enabled the goal to come, and Port Adelaide down by just the 4 points.
They make you pay, Nipper, if you make a mistake.
Oh, absolutely, Mark, absolutely. Give them, as I say, the 1 centimetre. They'll run through a slit in the door, and they're back in this game.
So it's 4 points, the margin. And Central District lead. Hull with a very clever hand pass at close quarters. Angove with a long kick. It'll be 1-on-1. He's done it easily this time. He got a metre in front of his opponent, and Tyler's got it. They'll be in front soon.
They're paying the penalty. They're letting Port Adelaide take this ball out of the centre, and they'll catch it to pieces, and Tyler's strength at full forward. Only one behind. He lines up for his first goal of the match.
Central runners stream onto the field. Here's Tyler, bangs it through. So they're in front now, the mighty Magpies, and part of this grandstand erupts. It's 7-3-45. Central District 6-7-43.
Well, it was always going to come, and once they get that pace away from the centre of the ground, they'll catch it to pieces, Port Adelaide, taking nothing away from Central District's great first term. They've fallen away from the basics that kept them in the game in the first term, and they played it to perfection, and the Maggies hit the front to lead by 2 points.
So it's the Magpies by 7-3 to 6-7. 15 minutes, nearly 16 minutes gone first quarter. Important game. Top plays fourth, and the Dogs are there on equal standing with Norwood. 0.7% in front, so today's important to them. Norwood today play North Adelaide at Football Park, and I guess you'd have to back them there. So if they've got any chance of getting into that third spot, the Dogs really need this one today, Nipper.
Well, they certainly do, and what is going to show as to whether they're a strong contender is to whether they can withstand this pressure of Port Adelaide, who have come back from being 6-4 to 2-1 down at quarter time. The Magpies have hit the front. Now Central District have to show their true colours and come back hard.
Well, they trail by 27 points at quarter time, and at the 15-minute mark hit the front, so that tells you 15 minutes. They've built it through. They've built it through something like 2 to 6, they've built it 5 goals, and they've done it. They've done it in quick time. So you never save as Cummings, the star in the first quarter, puts it up to half forward. Lures there, also a great player in that first quarter. In fact, that whole half forward line and centre line was superb. Under pressure, Chalmers, Julian Burton there, and out of bounds.
Well, once again, it's the key to this game is taking the ball away from across the midfield. Central District making a change now. Lowndes coming off, and coming back onto the ground is Paul Geist, but you must get the Central District look a great side when they get the ball into an open forward line, and it's just not happening.
Like living in a house with cracks, isn't it? You're never safe. Magpie...
Nice one, Mark.
The Magpies...
Living in a house with cracks.
Well, you're never safe,
Okay.
really.
We'll tell you about it later, Neville.
Have a think about that, because I live in a house with cracks, and I can tell you, you're never safe. Anyway, here's Girdham. He's not safe because Hull has got him.
So what people look in.
Hope not.
Been watching George Fiarchi there, number 4 for Port Adelaide, of course, very heavily bandaged around that left knee, the knee that he injured in the Foundation Cup, and to me this afternoon he just looks much proppier than he did last week.
Here's Hull. Good kick. Very good kick by Troy Hull to left half forward. A lot of players down there, very congested. Lyle, good tackle by Abbott. Well done. Ingerson there. Bond, who's very elusive. Also Laird. Oh, gee, Williams might have copped one a little high. He did. He's going to be rewarded for his courage there.
I don't go along with those decisions. You put your head down to go in and get the ball, then you pay the penalty.
Here's Williams' kick looking for Tylor. Short-circuited down there by Ingerson, who's playing in defence at the moment. So there's an interesting move by Stuart. Lyle, stolen by Schwert, having to get back. This is Rowe, away from the back pocket. Short chip pass is okay to the wingman, Saywell.
It's a very clever play, young Saywell. Covers a lot of territory, but Central District must get pace back into their game, and they must get the ball out into the open so that they can use that speed and expose Port Adelaide as they did during the first term. But the Maggies, to their credit, have bottled it up.
So the Dogs now through lures. Opportunity, not quite. Well spoiled Burton. And the Port Adelaide defence well and truly up the ground at the moment. There's about 100 metres between the last Central player and Port player to Delaney in the square. So the Dogs really working at keeping an open forward line as Herrera takes the ruck against Smith. Lures around the corner and Mead in front.
But Ingerson's gone down into defence as far as Central District are concerned, so obviously they're looking for some stability down there to stop this Port Adelaide onslaught.
So, as we've said, in 15 minutes, Port have arrested the game and taken control, and the lead is Brown out of the pack. Quick boot at it, Ingerson, Smith. Smith wins out, almost loses his feet, but not before he gets it up towards Angove. Stevens runs him down and did that very well. A good defensive action by him. Abbott will be there first in front of Lyle and see it over the line.
I guess one could say robbing Peter to pay Paul, because Ingerson at 4-4 was the only real shining light on that forward line in this second term. So they've had to put Geister down there because Port Adelaide's run and creativity in the forward lines needs the experience of Ingerson down there.
I think I agree with what you said a little bit earlier. As Tongaree prepares to come onto the ground, Nipper, the Dogs really need to open the game up, and at the moment Port Adelaide doing everything in tight traffic, and they're working it out of tight traffic, getting their runners going, getting into their forward line, one out, and they're scoring from it. Lyle from behind, but oh, beautifully done, Abbott again. It's been a good contest, that one.
Shows a lot of promise. Unfortunate to get an ankle injury during the Foundation Cup, and he shows a lot of promise to the young fellow, but he's come back into the senior side this afternoon. He's done some great things.
Only his second game, so yes, he looks all the parts of a league footballer. Burton, the run to Chalmers, under pressure. Lyle, well, here he is again. Won't get past Anko, but does the percentage thing. It was deliberate, no problem, but it was percentage, and he got away with it. Tongaree on the bench warming up.
Inching to get into things too, Neville. They need his pace too. They must get him onto the ball, I would think, rather than put him up on starvation flank in the forward line.
I think Corey Bell might be the player who's about to come off.
Well, he's dropped right out of it after a brilliant first quarter.
Well, I think all the Port Adelaide runners and utilities have really picked their game up, doing a lot more work as Foster sends it in high. The Central defence screw it up a little bit, but Reimers is back there. They'll work it out now. And in space, Cummings, Northeast concedes it, just lets him take it. Hopes that someone can run him down. He'll be on the end of this one, though, Northeast, if he can get back. He can! Great take! Oh, that was a good decision by Northeast to do that.
Yes, well done. Kicks to... Oh, Shea Cockatoo Collins almost. Not quite. Good tackling by Port Adelaide. They're relentless in this quarter. McKay got the hand pass. It went to Schwert. He was being held on to, and Schwert's going to get the free kick.
It's only a 2-point ball game with Port leading at the moment, but Central District are yet to add a goal in this second term, so that's indicative of Port Adelaide's dominance. If they can get a couple now, then the Dogs are right back in it.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, Tongaree is frothing at the mouth, desperate to come on. I get the feeling Corey Bell's about to come off. Yes, sirree. So here's the big change. And Tongaree, what can he do? We've seen him do some miracle things. I remember him kicking a goal a couple of weeks ago, Neville, that wonderful goal. He's got a lot of pace and he can take some terrific marks.
Yes, he's a very talented player, and we'll watch him with interest today.
Just going to be interested to see where he's going to go, because they need pace around the ground. Now he's breaking clear to the wing, and the kick will come from Herrera, and there he is.
Into space, all right. Let's have a look at him go. One bounce. That typical left foot, not unlike Northeast, is poorly put. Gave Geister no hope, but Delaney read it beautifully from fullback.
Didn't waste any time getting into the game, but unfortunately he's let it slip, because they had a chance to goal at Central District.
Yes, they like those open spaces, and Tongaree better than anybody in them.
He likes to run off his opponents, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, and if what will test him is his defensive game. Damien Angove to centre, in front. It looked like Ginniver, Chapman, the crummer. Fiachi can't stop him. McGowan, clever in traffic, always is. Punches one through halfway, charge for Lewis. 30 metres, punches it through. Boy, do they need that!
Well, they were desperate for that one. It's taken nearly 24 minutes to get their first goal of the term on the board, but it was enough to put them back in front. It was interesting to note that it was McGowan again. Geez, a clever player. He set it up, he drilled it between Darren Smith and put it over to Lewis, and he's put it through, and the Dogs are back in front by 4 points.
Good crowd, good conditions, and it should be a big second half. It's 7-7 to 7-3, Central lead. 4 points in it, 1 minute from time on. So half-time approaches. Ingerson in the ruck from the left. Chalmers from the right. Can they win it away from the centre here, Central District? Schwert, they've got him. Potter goes in, ducks the head. And they come at him, and there'll be another bounce.
You run the risk when you put your head down. I mean, the umpire has caught, a similar situation we had just a few minutes ago where you put your head down, you're going in for the ball, but it's a very awkward situation for an umpire to deem it play on or the free kick, and the player has got little to do with it.
Tongaree again, he punches it in high. Geister out in front, but it's Fiachi who reads it better off the pack. His kick is badly put through the centre of the ground. That looked like McGowan into space. Is good, boys.
What a mark. Tremendous mark there by Simon Lewis. Running with the flight of the ball, kept his eyes drilled on the footy and took a strong mark about 45 metres, 50 metres out from goal.
So Lewis has 1 goal this quarter. That was the last goal scored. And he kicked it from 25 metres. He'll kick this from about 50. As Fiachi and Chapman just destroy each other's facial profiles. Other players come in, and the emergency umpire there to sort it out. I'm pretty serious about that as Lewis punches it towards goal again. Oh, he's had an impact in the last couple of minutes. That's his second. And the Dogs lead now by 10 points.
Well, we're into time on, and if ever goals could come at a more opportune time, it is now. After holding a handy advantage, they manned up across the centre line. They worked it out well, and Lewis, what a wonderful mark, took the knock from Mead, finished it off for the goal, and put Centrals out to a lead of 10 points.
It was a terrific kick too.
Well, it was. He's not the longest of kicks, but he judged it to perfection, and he's got his second.
So 10 points in it. Central are 8-7, Port are 7-3. We're used to Port Adelaide kicking goals in time on. Not this time though. Potter, high kick, not a lot of distance. Knocked away from Handley. Picked up by Ingerson, kicks to centre half ball. The man's got it again.
Gee, hasn't he lifted in the last few minutes?
He's a smooth mover, isn't he, over the turf. Long kick. It's a high one. Roger Delaney should eat this, and they come at him from everywhere, but he held his ground and did particularly well to Northeast.
So Northeast now, looking a bit steadier than he did in that first quarter. Oh, Fiachi, too high on him, advantage free. Chalmers has got it. He'll be the runner through the centre of the ground. Who will he play with in the AFL? It's an absolute guess at the moment. Schwert, Potter, great tackle on him by Collins. Oh, I don't believe that.
He didn't like that one, Neville, neither did I. He'd done it well, and he was just too slow to get rid of it.
Potter now, the Dogs go forward, over the top, back of the pack Fiachi, he's read it beautifully, plays on. He's got Lyle, I'm sure that's Lyle, no, that's Hull, and his kick finds Sable, so the Magpies misdirecting, in space, Tongaree bounces over the top of him, he comes back at Mead, the big fella's caught, that's a great tackle, skirt him over the line, and the crowd one holding the ball.
Well, we've got to have some consistency. Consistency is the name of the game, whether it's right or wrong. Port Adelaide make the move, Mead off, Hughes back onto the ground for the first time in the second term.
We've got a great game on our hands here at Elizabeth. The Magpies want to avenge round 9. They haven't had a good month. They've lost to lost to Glenelg, nor to Pye. They beat the Eagles last week to get back in the winning streak, but it's a danger game here at Elizabeth for them today.
Well, it certainly is, and after a great 20 minutes of this second term, Central District have really steadied, and now they hold or have regained the ascendancy.
Yes, and out of bounds right forward pocket. That's Geister. We made the point that Geister came on, went too full forward, and Ingerson was playing a loose man in defence. I think he's doing some ruck work now, Nipper.
Yes, well, I've noticed just watching him now, he's back on Darren Smith, and also he's just dropping back across that half-back area to make sure Central District don't go further.
So Brown, they come at him, Saywell there, he's just dragged it underneath himself, and Richard Williams will come across and ball it up.
I guess one could say he's playing a similar game to what Brett Chalmers is at the other end of the ground in the Central District forward line. Ingerson trying to hold it out of Port Adelaide's attacking zone.
Bounce down, half forward line for the Dogs. Brown under pressure, gets the handball away though. Darren McKay's got the ball and he'll kick it right down the line. Dangerously close, but pinpoints it out of bounds, and Anthony Ingerson will do the ruck work just about where it fell out of bounds.
Not the tallest of players as a ruckman would go, but certainly his strength and his judging of the jump is very important.
Yes, and he plays with plenty of heart and plenty of soul. Spirited contester. Great fan of Anthony Ingerson's. Gillian Burton now plays it down the line, but James Saywell says just a bit hard to keep it in, and the boundary umpire has it. A young-looking athlete himself too, as he poles it in front of the grandstand here at Elizabeth. Biaggi, sardine can, holding the ball.
That is a good decision. He tried to weave his way through the pack, just one step too many, and he was grabbed and lost possession.
Absolute maze of Dogs players. Hanley puts it into attack. Chaplin lures, can't control it. At the back, Geister. Tonga is his target, forced to one hand. Looked like a polo player. Hughes, Biaggi, again he's in heavy traffic. He'd like to buy some turf out here to get some free space. Potter, Delaney. Saywell's caught. Julian Burton's got him. Foster, Potter's got him. Oh, pressure.
What a wonderful passage of play. All players going in hard after the ball. Neither side giving an inch. The siren sounds to end a tremendous first half of football here at the Elizabeth Oval, with the home side Central District leading by 10 points at the long break. Central 8-7-55 to Port Adelaide, 7 goals, 3-45.
Start of the second half here out at Elizabeth, and Central District, the home side, lead by 10 points. 8-7-55, the Magpies 7-3-45. It was a terrific first half. Hull gets the hand pass, it was too hot for Brown. They come at him, he's surrounded. Ginniver likewise tried to burst his way through the pack. Also there is Gurdon, they've pack-tackled him. And almost in the centre here of the Elizabeth Oval, there'll be another ball up.
So often we find in football that the third quarter is the all-important one, and Central District hanging on to a 10-point advantage after leading by 27 at quarter time. Really must withstand the pressure and go on with it from here.
Corey Bell got the quick hand pass. A big chance now for Potter. Potter 65 metres out, fortuitous. It was an awkward kick, and Ingerson's on the end of it.
Gee, he did that well actually under pressure, Potter. He swung the ball around his body, an awkward-looking kick, but Ingerson was out in front, juggled it, but he's only 40 metres out and almost directly in front.
Yeah, I probably didn't give him the credit there because, as Nipper said, perhaps intentional that. Ingerson, directly in front. This is an important one. He's missed to the left-hand side.
They're so critical, Mark, those shots at goals early in quarters, let alone the third term, but from that distance, and a pretty easy shot at goal, and we've seen Anthony Ingerson miss some easy ones in his short career. That was a critical one.
And Godridge just having a chat to Ingerson, sharing a lighter moment as Roger Delaney waits for the ball to come back in. The conditions here at Elizabeth are overcast, perfect for football. And Roger Delaney, form fullback.
Did you enjoy coming out here, Neville, in your playing career?
Oh, it wasn't my favourite location, mostly because of the parochial and partisan crowd that you experience when you're out here, and they certainly know how to give the Bulldogs a lift. It's Stevens now. But a lot of time for him as a player. He puts it in high. Ingerson is held. No free kick. Cummings goes through the pack. Beautifully blocked by Delaney. A chance for Chaplin. Quick hands. He gets it back to McGowan. Now Saywell. Kenny on his left. Chip short is brilliant, Tongaree. Oh, he could have taken a choice. Lewis or Tongaree, and the one at the back got it.
They're opening up their forward line as they did early in the game here. Getting players into the space, the disposal, the accuracy is back. And Central District looking a little more threatening than they did during the second term when Port Adelaide came back strongly.
Went to sleep, didn't they?
Indeed, Shane Tongaree from 20 metres. He came on in the second quarter. He's had plenty of touches, but it's a mistake and offline to the right.
So 2 missed opportunities in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. Could be very costly as far as the Bulldogs are concerned, holding a 10-point advantage at half-time. Now out to 12. It could quite easily have been a couple of goals added to the 10-point break, which would have given them a big breather.
So Delaney just waiting on an option. Burton provides one. He ignores that. Now Shea Cockatoo Collins on this near side. No, he decides to go to the far side. Good mark out there taken by McKay. So McKay from the defensive point of the centre square kicks toward Williams territory. Big chance now for Lyle if he can only pick up. Herrera comes at him. Lyle did that too easily. Good kick to Tyler. It was a little wide. I say a good kick, just a little wide of the mark down there. Tyler and Reimers works it to the boundary line. And I think under the circumstances, that was the right thing to do, Nipper.
Umpire Williams in the perfect position down there in that forward pocket of Port Adelaide. Had a very close look at it, hesitated with the whistle, but allowed it to go, safely out of play.
They should just get rid of that deliberate out of bounds, Nipper. It's a waste of time as Smith out of the pack. Tyler in the box seat, can't take the mark. Now he's the top goal scorer in the SANFL, is Tyler. He's only got 1 today, so that takes his total along to 70. Central are 8-9, Port Adelaide is 7-4.
Here's Schwert, good mark in opposition to Shea Cockatoo Collins. Schwert in the back pocket, Lounder offers a lead. He goes beyond his big ruckman. Good kick to Lures. Gee, he does well over the turf, doesn't he? He's an impressive-looking character. Kicks 2 vital goals, Nipper, in the second quarter.
Yes, and his pace was the instrumental factor in getting both of those, and that was a telling part of the reason he marked that ball on that occasion.
Yes, and Hughes standing him. Good kick to the wing, being held as Tongaree. Umpire didn't see it that way. Still in play. Well done there by Saywell. Fiarchi just happy to escort it over the line.
I think he was happy to see it out of play too. There's that injured knee of George Fiarchi. Looks much proppier today than he did against the Eagles last Saturday at Football Park, but still an effective player in defence.
From behind was Chalmers. Fiarchi to Brown. His kick under pressure is out on the full, and the Dogs will take the resultant free kick. Saywell short. Girdham, the runner is Swert. In they go into attack again, but Swert's right foot kick offline.
Good pressure from Cockatoo Collins to force him to kick with the right foot, and off balance it was ill-directed.
Now the Magpies try and build from half back. It's Hull's kick towards half forwards, importantly grabbed or dropped and recovered by Smith. The kick to Williams is brilliant. Over to Tyler, open goal, and the Magpies in for their 8th.
And beautifully put by Darren Smith. He sized up the situation very quickly. He saw Williams there and he measured the kick off beautifully. Look at that kick into the space that Williams had found, and he put it over to Tyler for the easiest of goals. And the Magpies hit back as Tyler walks into the open goal.
Drop kick.
A rarity in football of today.
So the Magpie fans happy. Tyler gets his second. He's got 2-1. And Central are 8-9. Port Adelaide are 8-4. 5 points the home side leads. Good crowd. 5 or 6 perhaps. Lounder might have won that. Comes to Geneva. Sweeps the hand pass to Smith territory. Herrera with Smith. A lot of hanging on, pushing and shoving. Hull, clever hand pass to CCC. Good kick by Cockatoo Collins. Long one by Braden Lyle, and it's hit the post. Good build-up there from the centre.
It's becoming more obvious to me, Mark, that the key to Port Adelaide getting up and winning this game is the dominance of Darren Smith. The little things that he's doing, he fed that ball out, he set up the other goal, and he's becoming a very potent player as far as Port Adelaide are concerned on the forward line.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Nipper. It's a very intuitive comment, and shows how much you know about football. I think it's absolutely key for Port Adelaide. He's that particular piece of play I know you're referring to there, where he's on the ground, struggled hard for the footy, got it out, and they had a shot at goal. I mean, it's just getting it through half forward, and I agree entirely with you. Hughes on Laird, and Laird will get it. That's Roy Laird. And
he's a rough, tough customer at the Dogs. Knows how to play good, strong football. Usually plays in defence. Chalmers, Geneva, Bella's there. He left the ground in the second quarter. Burton, it's loose again. Hughes, now Bond. They're into space, the Maggies, and they go up towards half forward. Going the wrong way, and tripped was Braden Lyle. So he won't get a lot of sympathy on that side of the ground, mostly Central District supporters. Quite the obvious free kick from Stephen Schwert, just perhaps getting in a little close to the body, and the slightest of errors was obviously going to give away the free kick. That's what's happened, and now Port Adelaide will go onto the forward line.
The 20-year-old, Braden Lyle, kicks to Tylor, Reimers at the back. Did the discipline thing, that was go for the punch. Williams close to the boundary line. Generally does something very clever with the football. This time he has kicked the behind to the right-hand side. It's clever football to work your way in off the boundary line and deep in that forward pocket, but he's expert at doing that is Stephen Williams. Hasn't been a big player in this game this afternoon, but give him an inch and he'll take a mile and he'll create opportunities for Port Adelaide. He couldn't convert it, but Port are within 3 points. Yes, you've got to play him pretty close, Williams. He can tear you to pieces in just minutes. So Squirt and Lyle, good contest that one. Don't really know how to judge that yet. I might let a bit more time go by. Spill, Chaplin, good crummer off the pack. Half forward, Tongaree and Foster lock arms. Somehow Tongaree's awarded the free kick. Interesting one, that one. Guesswork is what it is. Tongaree now. You don't agree, Neville? No, not at all. Tongaree over the half-forward line. Ingerson is good. Better kick. His pace is just a little bit too much for Roger Delaney. If the disposal is good and Ingerson's out in front, he'll get there first. He's got it now and he's 45 metres from goal. Slight angle, must do better than his last shot at goal, which was sprayed way offline. Yes, so head down, foot through the footy, Anthony. Let's see how you go. Yes, this time you went right in with him. He's got his second goal and the margin now 9 points. And a goal that the Bulldogs needed. He led out strongly from the full forward area. It was beautifully put to him and he had a good 2 or 3 metres on Delaney. Safely hugged it to the chest, lined it up, put it through and the Dogs by 9 points. Got to give them credit here, don't you, the Bulldogs? They have responded each time the Magpies have forced the issue. Well, when Port come from behind, they usually run right over the top of you. They threatened to do that. Central's answered during the second term and they've gone on with it early in the third term. 9 points in it, 9-9 to 8-6, Central lead. Early stages, second half. Chalmers from the left, Lounder from the right. He wins it clearly. Oh, surely that was hanging on. It was. Chaplin to get the free kick. Smack bang in the centre. Little short one to Cummings. Oh, now that was just a little late. There was nothing dangerous about it, but he came in and the free kick is going Cummings' way. That was Northeast, the man who erred there. Cummings, inside 50, up they go. Ingerson was one of them. McGowan just shrugs the tackle and does spectacularly well. Oh, the centreman, magnificent football, his first. He's a very creative player. He covers an enormous amount of ground, this Rick McGowan. He drifted down onto the forward line. He's a very neat mover. They're all up in the air, only the one player down, McGowan, straight between two Port Adelaide opponents, steadied, looked, and put it straight through the centre, and the Dogs out to lead by 15 points. Excellent piece of work there by McGowan. He can be very proud of that. 1 goal to his name, and it was a ripper. So the Dogs by 10-9 to 8-6 in the centre. No result out of it, Geneva. So they clear the square and Port Adelaide into attack. Lyle, well taken care of by Abbott there, leaves Squirts plenty of space, gets onto his natural leg, straight down the line. Cummings behind, goes for the jump, Burton there, he's got it, Cummings. Oh, what a good take. Right, super first quarter. Right position in front of the pack. Yes, he was. He puts it in towards half forward. Oh, big jump, Ingerson! Well, Lures it is, I should say. Oh, super jump. So the players that ignited them in the first quarter are back on top for the Dogs. Lures, Cummings, McGowan, and Ingerson in front. Couldn't take it. Brown beautifully done. Back to Delaney. They've cleared the defence. It's all the Dogs, though. Potter will go back to Stevens. He needs some assistance. Stevens waited for it out. Came back to help. That's good work. Smith's got him. Too high twice.
has to get it.
Absolutely.
Player going in hard for the ball, eyes on the ball, must be given every opportunity. Correct decision.
Yes, and Mead waiting to come on. Not sure who's about to come off for Port Adelaide. Here's Chapman, once again in the centre of the ground. Gets on with it quickly, long kick, out they storm. Oh, have a look at this, this is Herrera.
It'll probably be Hughes again, and I just don't understand why they've gone back to that first quarter scenario. It didn't work in the first place.
Well, he didn't come back onto the ground and, after quarter time until late in the second term. Now the change looks as though it may be made again because Mead has the height, but he's got more pace, and that's where Port Adelaide have been found wanting at the moment.
So Brian Herrera, this big man, we've seen him in defence. He's up forward at the moment. What a critical one this is from about 50 metres, right on the 50-metre line. He's got onto that superbly. It'll fall just short. Big pack into the air. Almost McGowan. He kicked a miracle goal before. Trent Cummings, do you mind? Yes! 3 goals to that star player, and that could have turned this game on its head.
Isn't he elated? Trent Cummings, a 6-goal kicker last week in a brilliant performance against South Adelaide. Right on the 50-metre line. Herrera put it to the square. The big pack went up, and the Dogs had 3 players at the drop of the ball. And Cummings pounced. And a great snap for goal. And the Dogs out to lead by 21 points.
Central 11-9, 75. Port Adelaide are 8-6 with 13.5 minutes into the third quarter. The vital third quarter here at Elizabeth. Gurdon meets Smith head on. The latter wins out to Collins. He's in to Montgomery. What pace and judgment to pitch the ball. Just stole it. Oh, he's a magician. Super player.
And the Central District fans rise as one to applaud a brilliant piece of interception by Shane Tongery, and he ran away from the Port Adelaide players. He read it to perfection and sprinted away, and the ball safely out of bounds.
And excellent camera work there. Well done, fellas. That was a terrific shot just after that brilliant interception. Corey Bell, short one, goes to Fiarchi. He's got it in defence.
So George, 29 last week, plays on quickly to Foster. He enjoyed his 28 just the week before. Playing in defence together, but Abbott on Lyle is good. Stevens, they work it out pretty well. Now, Scotty Stevens, what can he do with it? Tongery in space. Too much space, I would say. Jennifer's got him and did well to hold him up.
Port Adelaide have made 2 changes. Chalmers off and also Burton, and Smith and Mead onto the ground.
Oh, they'll make a change here as Corey Bell will change the score again. The open goal, he's kicked his second. The Dogs have got their 12th. It's a repeat of the first quarter. 27 points to the Dogs.
And Neville, I feel that those changes made at such a critical time when Central District had possession of the ball on the other side of the ground. They took off 2 players, and a key one in Burton in defence, left a player loose in the forward line, and Central District took full advantage of it. Corey Bell goal, and the Central District side lead by 27 points.
Same margin they led in the first quarter. Quite extraordinary. 12-9 to 8-6. And they're singing in the stands here. A critical game for Central District as far as their finals aspirations are concerned. Schwert lifting, kicks to right half forward. Here's McKay running onto the bouncing ball, gives it to George Fiarchi in the back pocket. He makes a rare error. They've got a big chance here now, Central District. Listen to the crowd as Chapman runs into goal. Bangs it through again. And oh, what about this? 2 goals to Chapman. They are cutting Port Adelaide to pieces.
What about the interception at half forward?
Oh, it's just brilliant football by the Red, White and Blues. They're taking the ball away with such confidence. The shepherding from Potter was brilliant, and it gave Chapman a break of 40 metres. He ran to within 30, steadied and put it through, and champagne football from the Bulldogs.
The Dogs are 13-9, 87. Port Adelaide are 8-6, 54. 16 minutes in, and it's the Dogs by 33 points. Well, and you can never write the Maggies off. You can never write them off at all. And we're in for an absolute ball terror of a finish here at Elizabeth.
You picked that to change up to Nippers. Rowan Smith came on.
Yes, Rowan Smith on for Burton. Mead went on in place of Chalmers.
Well called.
And Hughes still at centre half forward, so they're persisting with that. Stevens puts it in. He wants Ingerson. Delaney will spoil. They need a crumb of the Maggies. not there. Hughes too slow for Lewis. He puts it around the corner. Hungary!
Gee, didn't he have a look, Lewis? He saw Tongaree out the corner of his eye, and it was a beautiful kick. He put it on the angle and swung it around out to the face of goal, and Tongaree's a happy man 20 metres out.
Yes, indeed. Yet to kick a goal. He's had his opportunities since coming on, had plenty of touches. Oh. Well, he's absolutely butchered that ball, and it's not good enough for league footy.
That's his worst kick for 1993, and what a waste.
Well, it is when you're 33 points up for Port Adelaide. You got a chance to put him in at 39. The kick around the corner from Lewis was just pinpoint, 10 metres out, opened the face of goal for Tongaree. All he had to do was push it through.
And to use a term of yours, Neville, his completion hasn't been good. He's set a few things up, Tongaree, but his completion just not good enough. Brown, short one. So they've really got to regain their composure here. The Magpies I'm talking about. Angove received from Delaney. Rowan Smith. A chance now for the Magpies to go forward. Good kick inside 50, at the back, a chance for Williams. Oh, he's caught, out of business, Stephen Williams. And Central District once again get out of trouble, as they've done a couple of times here. Now Rowe, so each time the whistle has gone, it'll come back. So each time, Nipper, that Port Adelaide looked threatening, they've just arrested the situation, and in fact quite often,
They've done it really well, Mark. They've really steadied as an experienced side. And Port Adelaide looking to bring Burton back onto the ground, because Darren Smith is in a bit of trouble at centre half forward. He's bending over and looking in all sorts of trouble. But to answer your question, Mark, it's the sign of a good side that can withstand pressure and go on and lead by 34 points midway through the third term.
Well, they've been a good side in this quarter, haven't they? Here's Brayden Lyle, kick away from the wing. That's the eastern wing. Herrera at the back. Good mark to Darren Smith, who Nipper was just talking about. Here's the dangerous Shea Cockatoo Collins. Well done, kept his eye on the ball. It's kicked off the ground. Now, did he kick it? I think he may have, yes. This little star has kicked a much-needed goal by Port Adelaide. 13-10 to 9-6. He's got his third.
Oh, he's a clever player. A very clever player. He didn't outpace anybody. Schwert was coming down on him. And perhaps if he'd have thrown the body over the ball, but he just put his foot there. But Cockatoo Collins got there first and put it through off the ground for Port Adelaide. But Central still hold a lead of 28 points. And another change by Port Adelaide is made. Foster comes off and Burton back onto the ground, number 14 in black and white.
So John Cale ringing the changes. 13-10 Central. Port a 9 goals, 19 and a half minutes. Third quarter. Can Central keep up this pace? Can Port Adelaide fight back and get their way back into this game? Mead gets a short kick. Brian Herrera knocks it about 10 metres forward. Now the very brilliant, at times, Tongaree. Not that time, though. He kicked into a teammate, I think. He's got to go after his own ball. It's ricocheted off by Northeast and comes out of bounds in front of the members here.
Well, he can do miracle things, Tongaree, but on too many occasions he perhaps just squanders the possessions that he has won. His pace will get him plenty, but he's got to perhaps just use the ball a little bit more than he does, and he can be such a damaging player.
Throw in now, Corey Bell. Oh, beautifully put, and he finds Girdham. Girdham plays on quickly. He's got Chapman into space. Quick handball over the top. Oh, it's going to be another goal for the Dogs. Cummings! Open goal. He's kicked his fourth. Oh, it's all the Dogs here. 20 minutes gone. They're taking Port Adelaide apart.
And they're taking them apart with sheer pace. They did it in the first term. They used the ball out in. They opened up their forward line. Chapman's got the pace. He had the player on the left. Cummings drifted down from the flank, lined up the goals, put it through, and Central District look tremendous at the moment. They lead 14-10-94 to Port Adelaide, 9 goals, 6-60. Very happy man, Trent Cummings, 4 goals to his credit. He kicked 6 last week for the Bulldogs, and they lead by 34 points, well into the third term here at Elizabeth. Lounder from the right for the Bulldogs. Mead for Port Adelaide. It's Potter getting the kick away out towards half forward right. Stevens has got the run of it. McKay in pursuit. Well done, Stevens. Wheels around onto his left foot. Puts it towards centre half forward. Lewis, who's having a brilliant third term, takes the mark 50 metres out.
Can't understand what Hughes is doing back on him, Dipper.
Can't work it out for the life of me. He's already been found wanting for pace. They put him back there. And once again, Lewis has escaped. And out in front, it's Rick McGowan drifting down from midfield. Takes the mark. He's absolutely dead in front. and only 35 metres out, and the Dogs holding a 34-point advantage. What a telling kick this will be.
It's an accurate kick normally.
Puts it on its way towards the goals, and the Central District fans are elated. Their side leads by 40 points against the #1 side in the competition, Port Adelaide, as McGowan kicks his second, and Central District hold the comfortable advantage, 15-10, the Port Adelaide 9-6.
So it's Lewis again who orchestrated this this delivery into space. Rick McGowan did a lot of work to get there. Ingerson was behind telling him what to do. He went back, had no trouble. That's his second goal this quarter, and since quarter time, since halftime I should say, the Dogs have put on 7 goals, and Cummings has been in the business with 4 of them.
15-10 Central, Porter 9-6, 22 and a half minutes, and the Magpie feathers are well and truly ruffled at the moment. Not a good kick by Rowan Smith. Here's Abbott, who's a rough and tough customer. Good kick, a terrific kick to Lewis. He's going to get the free kick. No, it's McGowan in fact, and that was courage. It was a good kick. They did come at him late. McGowan gets on with it very quickly. There's Lewis down there. He's surrounded by Port Adelaide players. Mead hand passes straight into the point post.
Well, that was a little odd, and look, I've made a couple of points about Mead and Hughes. I don't at all mean to be derogatory to Danny Hughes, because I'm a real fan of his. They're both in screen, and super fan of Danny's. He's a real fighter. He's very good at picking up the big men in defence, but I just think it exposes him too much on a very quick player at centre-half forward, and it's proved to be the case all day. The move was made, and it's gone back to what it was originally, and they paid the price again, the Magpies. So I mean, Jack Cale knows what he's doing, but it just seems that maybe he's doing it for balance. Maybe there's no other options, but it's not working. Lounder, Lyle, Northeast. They're in trouble, the Maggies. They're in a lot of trouble. Tonga will make it worse for them around the corner. Oh, Getty's offline. 3rd point.
Yes, he is a dangerous player, but he has spoilt the day out today, hasn't he, Neville, with his inaccuracy. Good crowd here, and I wouldn't like to make a suggestion as to how many. I'm not a very good guesser of crowds, but they've come out in their numbers. A lot of Port fans here, but they're seeing Central District, I think, Neville, at their very best.
Oh, they've played super football today. They've done the work. They've been put under pressure. There's Lewis again. Well done, Hughes, on that occasion. He might make me eat my words. He's a dead-set fighter. Lyle now. Opportunity. He's caught by Chapman. They'll lose the footy here, the Magpies. They have again. Corey Bell, I think, got it out. Opportunity. Couldn't pick up who that was. I think it was Ingerson into the square. Trent Cummings, and under so much pressure. That was Craig Potter. And in the screen, Paul Northeast. It's been just ball on ball coming over that half back line. They're 42 points in arrears, the Maggies.
Well, they're in all sorts of trouble, and even their fullback lost a bit of confidence there, because that kick was very lazy, very lucky. Yes, well done by Engove on Saywell. And there was a big chance there only moments ago for Rick McGowan to send it in again. So at left half forward, a throw-in taking place.
Well, if the Maggies go down, they won't go down by much. I don't think this rain of goals will continue by Central. I might be wrong. Schwert underneath it. Collins, free kick, and rightly so. The crowd boo, but that's parochialism overriding common sense as Collins punches the Maggies into half forward. Oh, great work by Roy Laird. Smith, Potter's there, happy to see it over the line. And the Dogs, 42 points. It'll pay well on the tab, this one. I didn't have anything of it though, Mark.
Well, I think in fairness, although Central have had a very good 4 or 5 weeks, here's Brown now having a pot shot at goal. That's a good kick by Brown. Oh dear, do they need that? No doubt about that. We'll sum it up and then I'll make a comment. 15-12 to 10 goals, 6. I don't think in anyone's wildest dreams would we expect Central to be this far in front, even at home, Neville.
No, but as I said, the great part about this is that you can rest in comfort that Port will come back, and that might be just the start of it. As Brown puts it in, his first, and the Maggies, maybe they're on their way back.
What's that, 36, is it? Is that 36 now?
Yeah, 42 less 6.
So that margin now, Neville Roberts, 30 points. An outstanding third quarter by Central.
Well, it's been a very impressive day all round by Central. As you said, they got away to a great start. They led by 27 points at the first change. Port Adelaide overran them, took the lead at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter, but not only for a little while. The 24-minute mark, Central took the lead. They've been in front since. They've extended it this quarter by up to 42 points. But the Magpies, they dead set are on the way back again now. You can never write them off. They'll never give up. And we're in for a Bobby Dazzler here at Elizabeth today.
Oh, should be a terrific last quarter. What an outstanding game it's been. And you've got to give credit to both sides. They've battled extraordinarily hard. Port Adelaide, a terrific second quarter. But as far as Central are concerned, well, they've really turned it on in this the third quarter. Here's Paul Northeast. Getting on with it quickly. Kicks up to right half forward. Good mark down there by Schwert. He's been paid.
So David Brown featuring in this last quarter. Schwert on screen, but David Brown's kicked the 2 goals that have revived Port Adelaide. They really wouldn't want to have blown any further out than that 40-odd points. Back within breathing space now is Saywell from his wing. Been a good player opposed to Ango. And a free downfield. Not much in that, but Central Tongery with it. He's been disappointing with his finishing today. 3 points only. Missed one from the square only minutes ago. Ingerson out on a lead. He's been dangerous with his height. He's given it off. Short. Oh, it's meant for Chapman. I think that was McGowan who pushed that one out. Potter, I should say. And it ends up in the defensive hands of Port Adelaide. This is Delaney. Always accurate with his kicks. McKay and Bond combined. The run through half forward. Smith spent the day on the bench, just on the ground. Pushes up to his namesake in Darren. No relationship other than they play for the same club. Now Williams, he can catch up if he gets out kick. And he might be on his way to doing that right now. Williams with his second. Port Adelaide making their comeback. They're 12-6-78. The Dogs are 15-12, 102.
They do fight back, and Stephen Williams, as we've seen so many times over such a long period of time, can win a game off his own boot up at half forward or ruck roving or playing in the centre. And this was very clever. Well done, Stephen Williams. A wonderful goal there from about 35 metres out. Really bent the back and put it through from inside 50. Second goal to Stephen Williams. They're getting back into this game. 15-12 Central. Port at 12-6-78. We've played 30.5 minutes. Third quarter.
24-point margin as Girdham tries to push his way through the pack. Schwert's in there. Finally the Dogs. Lounder now. And the Saywell. Off they go. Tongery, if it'll sit for him. Spent most of the day on the bench. In high, Delaney, Ingerson, Viarchi late. Chaplin's there. Hughes overruns it. Players fall over each other. Chaplin almost a free kick. And the umpire in late just to take control. Umpire today, Craig Doddridge and Richard Williams have done the job. We're well into time on, 31 minutes. Not much left of this quarter. Ingerson punches. Viarchi percentage defence. Out of bounds. They're going to get a breather in defence, and little George made sure. But there's Julian Burton on Tongery. Burton came on in the second quarter to balance up the defence, which had been under terrible pressure in that first stanza from the Dogs. They just opened up like men possessed. McGowan, opportunity, good tackle on him. Viarchi and Chaplin together. Corey Bell, always dangerous. Viarchi, get the ball off of me. You'll have to cut it out, says George. Been a tough competitor, and as we've said so many times, made an amazing recovery from that knee injury. We're live at an exclusive at Elizabeth.
Tongery, quick hand pass to Cummings. It was just a little bit hot. It's out of bounds. Yes, Sir George, Viarchi's been on the end of a few nasty ones today, hasn't he?
Yes, he's not afraid to get in and mix it up, and George doesn't give any quarter at all.
24 points. Mead intelligently, or perhaps not. Tongery saw him kick a goal from an impossible angle about 2 weeks ago. Corey Bell misses to the left, out of bounds on the full. He's come in and out of the game, hasn't he, Corey?
Yes, he has. Kicked one in the first, came off the ground just for a smidgen in the second quarter. Kicked another goal in this quarter, but I have so many of the other players too for Central. Bell, Chaplin, 2 to McGowan in this quarter, 1 to Trent Cummings and 1 to Ingerson, so haven't they piled them on? 7 goals to 3, Neville, in this quarter, as far as the Central District are concerned. Girdham
Lyle over the top of him, picked up by Potter. Hand passes out wide. This is Lounder. Good kick to a more central location. Ingerson, he's come out and taken a spectacular grab, dead set in front of goal. He shouldn't miss this.
Hasn't he got long reach? Watch, Delaney's right there with him, but he plays so tall, Ingerson, and when the ball is out in front of him, he jumps at it and stretches. It's very, very hard to bridge the gap. He's kicked a couple, but he's been very disappointing in front of goal, set shots. I just feel he can improve his technique a little bit. Tends to lean back a little bit for mine and lifts his head a lot. Let's watch him on this one.
Well, Anthony, this is an important one for you. Drop punt. Well, you didn't let us down. Good kick. Bang! Straight through the middle. So the margin now, 30 points. 108 to 78. We've played 33 and a half minutes. This is quite extraordinary.
So let's have a look at how it all happened. Just watch the stretch and the jump. Ingerson comes from behind, half a metre off the ground, big long arms, and Delaney, who's probably most exposed when the ball is out on a lead to players. Quick goal kickers. Cummings and Ingerson share the lead with 7. Collins is 3, Tyler 2, Brown 2, and Williams 2. So it's they need more of them, the Maggies. 30 points, the margin. And here's Stevens. Whips the hand pass to his own advantage. Now Potter, little short kick. Well done. Well, they're just running all over them in the last 2 or 3 minutes. This is Ingerson again. And behind play, Scotty Stevens in real trouble on the ground. Real trouble. They don't want that because he's been a key for them. He's in a lot of pain. And as you can quite clearly see, he's just taking a while to get up. Well, the siren had to come because we played almost 30 minutes.
Special treat for all the kids.
And Anthony Ingerson, as we wait on him, this is a critical one. Kicked one moments ago, left footer from about 45 metres. The umpire does not move a muscle. Way over his hat. And it's another one to Central District. I make the margin 36 points. 17-12, 114 to 12 goals, 678. Start of the last quarter here. It'll be a big one from Port Adelaide. It'll need to be. They're 36 points down. Central are 17-12, 114. Port 12, 678. Here's Neville Roberts.
McGowan gets them started out of the centre. Scotty Stevens is still on the ground. Pretty tough. Let's hope he hasn't broken that rib as Cummings goes to ground. A chance for Handley as he steers the ball into the forward line. Chaplin and Fiarchi go there. Schwert, the helper, Tongri, the player we just saw. Look at the pace. On the left boot, he steers it back. He wants McGowan and he's fouled him. He kicked 2 in the third quarter, McGowan. And it was beautifully delivered. Steered around by Tongri. Good vision. Looked over, didn't panic. And running into space with Rick McGowan.
And wouldn't they love this?
Well, it's just such a great way to start the last quarter when you've got a 6-goal lead to get an early goal. Let's see what they can do. McGowan now. Oh, he's brilliantly skilled. Super start by the Dogs. That takes the margin to 42 points. 1 minute into the final quarter.
Well, what a wonderful start, and the grandstand here has erupted. Tongri once again, Neville in the play. He squared the football. It was good vision, and the mark taken by McGowan as Nipper Christie races up to join us in commentary. He's not puffing, he must be pretty fit. 3 goals to Rick McGowan, and Nipper, can they get back?
Good news for you, Mark, he's not very fit. No, I don't think they can, Port Adelaide. Paul Rosonico wasn't all that confident in the way that Central District are playing at the moment. It is full of confidence and they look as though they can go on with it.
Back in the centre, Lounder gets the knock, but Brown takes it out. He tried to ignite them in the last part of that quarter, Brown, but it hasn't really worked. Potter got him forward. Smith now goes backwards and forwards and finds Julian Burton. His kick, if it sits for Hull, is interfered with. No free kick. Bond uses his pace, clears the pack, sends it around. Tyler, he's been well held, but hasn't had many opportunities to be fair, and he was held on that occasion. Free kick.
Yes, the free kick's certainly there as far as Mark Tyler was concerned. They're down by 7, Port Adelaide, and Tyler really has to kick this one of Port Adelaide and to have any chance whatsoever of getting back into this game.
He leads the SANFL goal scoring with 71 goals. He's 69 before today, kicked 1 in the second, 1 in the third. And they need this to start things going in the right direction if they've got any chance in this game. Tyler from 20. And he's made no mistake with that. He's a professional full forward. That's his third, and Port Adelaide's 13.
And a real pressure kick as far as he was concerned. And Port Adelaide also are concerned. They're really looking down the barrel at the moment. The enthusiasm of the Central District players and their home crowd here has really lifted them. But Port Adelaide are equal to answering any challenge, and this will show their true colours from here on in.
I just get the feeling that the word is out to Elizabeth that Central are in front and have a big chance to win, because I just have a feeling the crowd has built up. 18-12 to 13-6.
Really is a magnificent crowd, Mark.
3 minutes last quarter. There's an infringement in the centre. It's going Central District's way. This is a handy one for them. Big Lounder, defensive side of centre. Long bomb towards centre half forward. Lewis caught at the back. Picked up by Trent Cummings. Knocked out of his hands by Tim Ginniver. A sweeping hand pass. Handley down there working hard with Julian Burton. Eventually it comes to McKay. He's almost dragged off the footy. Enormous pressure there. He kicks wide to the open spaces. Angove out of bounds.
Of course, as far as Port Adelaide are concerned, they were in danger of losing top spot last week, but they won against the Eagles to open up their lead to 3 premiership points. Should they go down this afternoon and the Eagles get up, well, then we're back in with a real race for the minor premiership.
Now from the half-back, Abbott, been a good player in his second game only. Fiarchi, always steady, been under a lot of pressure today. Collins! Well, he just keeps doing it.
A very courageous mark, drifted across in front of the pack, eyes on the ball and a strong chest mark.
Forward they go. Oh, the early jump from Tyler. I think he's got it. I was there for a week, to quote you, Mark Aston.
That was unbelievable. He was up there for as long as you could count. He came down and the ball came to him and hit him on the chest.
I think he took, well, I'm sure he took the mark standing on the ground.
It was well judged.
It was a fluke.
He's important to them. He's got 3. He's kicking from about 25 or 30 metres. In he comes. Pounds away at goal. He's offline to the delight of the Central crowd.
What a crucial miss. He did it all well.
Let's have a look at some AFL final scores. Essendon defeated Collingwood in front of almost 90,000 last night. 68 points. West Coast defeated Richmond. 19 points. Not much in that one. Carlton defeated Hawthorn. I'm out of the tipping competition. 31 points. And we've got some other games. Geelong defeated North Melbourne, 94 points. That's a big win. Footscray over Fitzroy, 6.
Nowhere to go. Northeast, Ginniver. That's good inside traffic. Smith, he always uses the ball. This is no exception. McKay puts it in long. Tyler's the target. If he can get there, Williams is in front. Well spoiled by Roy Laird. Abbott, good defence. Williams got him. Bond, if he can get clear. He kicked 6 last week. He has yet to manage a goal. He's been well held. Craig Potter deliberately out of bounds, but they don't play that anymore here in Adelaide. And I say here in Adelaide because we welcome our guests, country South Australia, Northern Territory and Southeast Asia.
Abbott in a bit of trouble, Nipper.
Well, he's a player that's done a great job for Central District this afternoon, and they need every player at their peak for this final quarter against the Magpies.
Well, they forced Brown into an error there. The umpire says holding the ball.
Right,
it's against Central District. It's against Abbott, but as I said earlier, he is in trouble. I think he might have a hamstring problem.
And an excellent decision by umpire Richard Williams. He ducked his head, he ran in, he had possession of the ball, he could have got rid of it. And a good decision, and Port Adelaide with the chance from only 40 metres out on a slight angle. They're down by 35 points, and they can and will come back.
Just 1 goal, Darren Smith today.
Bit of an experience maybe from Abbott. It's only his second game, not to be too hard on him.
Here's the kick by Smith. Good one, Darren. Straight through, second goal. And a critical one, 18-12, 120. Porter 14-7, 91.
Well, will the Port Adelaide fight back come? Smith has set it off. He's put through Port Adelaide's 14th goal. So now it remains to be seen whether Central District can withstand the challenge and go on from here. An excellent crowd here at the Elizabeth Oval. 6,706 people, and they really flocked to the home ground of the Bulldogs to see this great encounter.
It's a great crowd. It's 50% of the former 5 games, which only raised 11,000. The Dogs are 18-12, Port Adelaide are 14-7. 28-point margin. Forward they go again. Collins this time in front. Chance for Herrera. Williams is hurt, or met heavily, I should say. Smith from 50. Tyler's the target. He's got it, not quite. Good defensive work on him on that occasion by Reimers. or Reimers, I should say. McKay desperate, out of bounds, Potter with him. And Port Adelaide, they're making a desperate bid.
And what a great last quarter this is going to be. The test of the young Bulldogs side against the experience and power of Port Adelaide. It's Central by 29 points. Their skipper in Gurdam is off the ground for Central District, and Port Adelaide will throw everything at the Bulldog.
Jennifer sends it forward. Smith spoils his opponent. Hold to Brown, not quite. Happy with the point was Rowe. So good defence. Now, to take your point up a little bit there, Nipper, it is the truth that they'll try and hang on, but they must keep attacking, not just go defensive. And with the side they've got, that'll make it very, very hard for Port Adelaide if they keep that style.
Well, I think, Neville, if they go defensive, they'll get beaten, even though they're leading by 28 points at this stage.
Reimers to Lounder. Now Rowan Smith. This game has everything. Short chip pass to his rover. That's Geneva. He's way out on the half-forward flank. He's perhaps three kicks from goal. Good kick to Angove. No. Short-circuited well. Now they've got a big chance here. This is Trent Cummings. They've got a big opportunity through Potter from smack bang in the centre. Fiarchi getting back. He's under a bit of pressure from Corey Bell. Ingerson over there as well. Big opportunity now for Delaney. Gets it back to Fiarchi. They didn't panic. And that's the Port Adelaide we know. Geneva infield. Fiarchi again. So he was a key player in that little sortie from half-back. Brown short chip pass, big chance for Foster, infield he goes, the hand pass wasn't good to Northeast but he got away with it. Now Angove, awkward kick looking for Darren Smith, down there is Herrera, there's a bit of hanging on against Stevens, the umpire didn't see it that way and Hanley turns him around. Short, the kick is good, now Abbott's gone to a half-forward flank, he's injured, he's limping and he's still getting touches, so he's out of danger out of half-back. He couldn't be left down there. He'll come off, and replacing him will be Paul Geister. So they've still got 18 fit men. Tongri tries to keep it in, only centimetres. He points to the line, indicates to the umpire that it was still in.
Ball's out of play. And Central District, the chance to get a steadying goal downward, up by 28 points, and they're into their half-forward flank.
Brown now to Geneva is good. Smith spent a bit of time on the bench, gets his kick away. Tongri, can he turn it around? Cleverly, now Chapman, he's in a bit of space if it sits. He'll use his left boot around the corner. He's offline left. So Port Adelaide fans breathe some relief. And the margin now goes to 29 points.
Gavin Chapman usually so deadly around goals, even with difficult shots like that, running flat out and forced to kick with his left foot. I've seen him kick many of those, and that would have been a real lifesaver as far as Central are concerned. But Port Adelaide keep coming back and trying to eat away at that Central District lead.
An important kick here for Roger Delaney. He's really got to find someone. 29 points, time running out, short pass to centre half-back. Oh, gee, that was fortuitous. No, it wasn't, because the mark wasn't taken, and they really pounce here. This is Trent Cummings. Infield he goes. Big chance for Geister. Geister short one. Foster, almost the mark. In goes Chapman. Now McGowan, round the corner. But tell me! Oh, has he kicked the goal? No, he hasn't. Well, Central fans thought he had. Delaney clears to the far side. And now CCC is under enormous pressure. Tongri over there working devilishly hard. They've got a chance here again. Stevens the hand pass. Tongri gets it away to Bell. It's close to the boundary line. It's frenetic, Neville Roberts. And what a great passage of play.
Oh, gee whiz, the pressure is so intense. Central District holding on to this 29-point advantage. They're trying to get the ball into Ingerson at the full forward area, but they just can't break in over that half-forward line with any purpose at the moment.
50-metre forward line for the Dogs. Mead now. Been moved around, open in the back pocket, been on and off the ground. Stevens' leg. Back to McGowan. He'll get the free kick though. He got a heavy one in that last part of the third quarter when we joined you live. And Scotty Stevens over 50 minutes. We're 12 minutes into this quarter. Burton brings it to ground. We've lost the footy. They're out in the corner. They go the Dogs. Into the forward line. They come to the square well though. A mistake by Mead. He's got enough time and he's steady enough to get it on the Foster. They move the ball on quickly. Smith. He wants Darren Smith. He's so important to this side. Always brings the ball to ground. He needs a crummer though, but that's Rowe. Wrong side for him. Good work, McGowan. Clever with the ball. And on this occasion, too short. Foster wants out in the full.
Darren Smith is the key to Port Adelaide getting up in this game. Every time they put the ball through the centre half forward area, he's been a strong contributor with either feeding the ball out, holding it in the area or taking the mark. They must get it to Darren Smith on the forward line.
29 points. Corey Bell, central lead, kept it in play cleverly. Ingerson the target, up in front. Has he got it? Umpire didn't play it. Now Gavin Chapman, here we go! Oh, he's got it! Oh, he's got it. 3 goals to Chapman. And it's 19-13 to 14-8.
I don't think Port Adelaide can get back from here. Central District have answered that early onslaught. They found the steadying goal. Chapman drifted in and out of the game since he had a brilliant first term, broke clear in the pocket, put through his 3rd goal, and Central District lead by 35 points and headed for a big upset here at Elizabeth.
And you can see the way George Fiacci grimaced when he missed that tackle. He and Delaney almost collided with each other. He knew it was going to hurt them. 19-13, Port Adelaide a 14-8. And what's that? That's 35-point margin. 6 goals without the Dogs scoring. Big contract for the Maggies. They've done it before. Brown in front. Stevens, or Laird I should say. And a steadying influence there. The left footer plays on. Swert on his wrong leg, gets it to Chaplin, he's been busy. Goes back inside, or outside I should say, trying to find Swert. Brown up to Smith is good. Now Burton provides the run. He'll go long to Tyler. That's the way it goes. It's beautifully put, and Tyler takes the mark.
Oh, great lead from Mark Tyler, and as you said, Neville, a beautiful kick from Burton. Put the ball out in front, and Reimers had no opportunity. The perfect kick, the perfect lead. Now he's got to finish it off with a goal for Port Adelaide.
And he comes from about 50 metres. It's a big kick. He's the leading goal kicker here. In the square it goes. Opportunities over the line, not yet.
Stacks on the mill in the goal square.
We'll have a ball up there, and it's desperate football. Obviously the Dogs can sense a win. We're 14 odd minutes in, I guess, at this stage. 15 minutes in maybe. There's time enough, but not if the Dogs keep it up like they are now. They're scoring, they're attacking, and they're not giving any quarter to the Magpies.
So a lot of players around there. It's a very pressurised area just in front of that Port Adelaide goal. And Bond kicked 6 goals last week, Nipper. Hasn't done too much today. And, of course, Tyler kicked 6 as well.
Well, they were given plenty of latitude last week, Mark. We saw that game at Football Park. Given the space, they'll take the advantage, but they're just not giving the breathing space today.
And Port Adelaide also another 6-goal kicker. Borlays withdrew before the game today with an injured knee. Opportunity for Tyler, was it? Yes, indeed. Goal! Everybody went into a vacuum here. That's his 4th. Central 19-13, Port Adelaide 15-8, and I remain stunned.
Well, I think perhaps the umpire had blown a whistle for a free kick to Mark Tyler, but he had boot to ball as the illegal tackle had been put on, and a great snap for goal. He would have got it anyway, but he's put it through, so Port Adelaide come back to trail by 29 points.
Time running out. Tyler very excited about that. He's got 4 goals too. Has 73 for the year. 19-13 to 15 goals, 8. 16 minutes gone last quarter. Stevens gets good distance with that. The ball rolls about 25 metres. Oh, Tongaree just didn't sit. It went too high for him. They got a chance to bang it in again though. This is Trent Cummings. What can he do? He's being besieged by North East. Out of bounds. Well, the crowd here don't seem to think so. I just got the feeling it was over the line.
Yes, it was, but when your side's winning against Port Adelaide on your home ground, well, they certainly won't let anything go.
It's touch and go there, isn't it? So Lewis had his hands on it. A lot of players over there desperately trying to do something constructive. Tim Ginniver, high kick, not a lot of distance. Knocked away into the forward pocket. Corey Bell, awkward bounce for him. Ginniver, hand pass, close to the line. Williams, that was out, I would think, surely.
Well, the defence not arguing about that one because the Port Adelaide player had the ball, but that's the exuberance of football, playing on your home ground and your team is winning. It doesn't matter what, as long as you've got something to yell about.
North East, a big one. Saywell, he was well shepherded on that occasion by McGowan. Slips through. Cummings, opportunity. He has 3 goals to date.
Yes, Geister was putting the shepherd on young Burton. And the umpire having a very close look at it, and Burton certainly was impeded in chasing Cummings there, so the free kick is correct.
Okay, so Julian Burton, he came on in that second quarter, and he's had plenty of touches. His kick now towards, or just over the 50-metre line. Big jump, Saywell. Williams can't touch it. Bell, short. Tongaree be on the end of it. If he can take it, he can.
Oh, so nonchalant was the way the arm went up. He dragged it down. It was a beautiful mark. It was a confidence mark. Puts it across. Only 35 metres out. It's Cummings.
Best option, I think, under the circumstances. Tongery just hasn't been all that accurate today, has he?
No, he's had 3 shots. He's missed 1 from the square, but Cummings has got 4 goals, and he's been a busy player all day, Nipper.
Yes, he's been a very effective player. I like the look of this kid. He's got a big future.
And he comes. That's his 5th. He's been a match winner here at Elizabeth today. He opened up superbly. Port Adelaide a 15-8. They trail the Dogs 20-13.
Well, 6 goals last week and 5 a game from a half-forward flank. The flags, the red, white and blues, they're delighted out here at Elizabeth. Their side is headed for a big win against the league leaders, Port Adelaide. Cummings has got his 5th. The leading goal scorer here at Elizabeth this afternoon, and the Dogs are headed for victory. They lead by 35 points.
It's a big margin, isn't it? 20-13, 133. Port of 15-8, 98. The Magpies have won only 1 game in the last month. They were beaten by Norwood, Glenelg, and now it does appear as though Central have their measure. They did have a big win over at the Eagles last week, but as up goes Geister, couldn't control the mark. But there's just been an ordinary month for Port Adelaide. They'll really need to take stock. Still on top, no panic.
I think the great thing about it, Mark, is the fact that this has really opened up the competition, and that's what we need here in South Australia.
Absolutely. Brown kicks to Hull, hits him on the chest.
Hull now push the ball forward to Herrera. Well spoilt Smith, and Brian Herrera will take the free kick. He's just backward of half-back, uncertain where to go, but not in any hurry. They've got time to burn, Dogs. Out to Swert is good. Chapman's the runner inside. Viarchi can't get to him. And again, Tongery, so he's starting to have a real influence. Shane Tongery, backward of centre, backward of 15 metres, Ingerson!
Terrific.
Oh, what a take.
Such a key player. Give him the opportunity. He doesn't stand 6'5", 6'6", but he judges his leaps to perfection. His strength and his strong hand mark, his strong hands can mark that ball under big opposition. He finds himself only 35 metres out, and this will really seal it as far as Central are concerned.
So Ingerson, he's been a little offline today. Still, he's kicked 4 goals, and that's not a bad performance in anyone's terms. In he comes, not offline this time. He takes the margin with his 5th goal to 41 points. The Dogs are 21-13, Port Adelaide are 15-8.
A great goal to Ingerson. He's been switched to a variety of positions, mainly established on the forward line. He's had his stint in ruck, he's had his stint in defence, he's played his part in what will be a Central District victory.
Let's have a look at some scores, some updated scores in the SANFL. South lead West by 79 points, all over there. The Eagles lead Sturt by 39 points. You wouldn't think Sturt could get back from there, and of course, don't forget, North and Norwood, Footy Park, and that should be an excellent highlights package.
So it's a repeat of round 9. The Dogs in front. They won that one by 16 points at Alberton. They're going to win at home today. And it's an important game for the Dogs. They're chasing 3rd spot. They share that 4th position. And they'll be very, very keen to hear the results, or the possible result, I should say, between North and Norwood. Over the top, chance for Chapman. Geister there, he'll outrun Viarchi if he can. Get it over to Chapman. Tongery's in space. He'll use him as a decoy. He's on his left boot. He's way offline though. And he misguided that entirely to the left, and out in the full, Delaney will bring it in.
I guess it was perhaps the best thing to do. As you said, Neville, Tongery was clear in the pocket. He was on such an acute angle. Perhaps Chapman did the right thing by coming back in field.
Well, since round 8, Central have only lost 2, Glenelg and Eagles, so they won 7 out of their last 9. It has been an outstanding 2 and a bit months. This really capping it off for them, and they beat Port, as Neville said earlier on. They beat Port Adelaide earlier on in the season. Here's Hull. So they've stamped their authority, Neville. There's no doubt about that, is there?
Well, they have, and beating Port Adelaide twice during the season, the minor round. There's not many teams do that. The Eagles haven't been able to do it. Port Adelaide trounced them last week, and we all thought they were back on the winning list and they could win anywhere.
Yes, no doubt about that. And It has been something special out here for those who have been here and those who are watching us all around the state. Good kick inside 50. No mark taken off. Big chance for Trent Cummings. Geez, a dangerous player, isn't he? Oh, that was just special. 6 goals. We're running out of fingers. It's 22-13 to 15 goals, 8. 22 and 3/4 minutes last quarter.
Well, a player that can have 2 consecutive weeks of 6 goals to his credit is certainly a player with an enormous future, and Trent Cummings is just that. He was a little quiet early in the game. The crowd has gone absolutely crazy here at Elizabeth. They're lifting the roof almost off the grandstand. It's a great atmosphere here at Elizabeth as this side will go on to beat league leaders Port Adelaide. Central lead by 47 points. We've played nearly 24 minutes of the last term.
And Cummings has done it on a pretty highly respected player in Poole North East. He's been there most of the day, and kicking 6 goals on him is a real compliment to him. Angove over the ball. Brown trying hard still. Gives it over. Herrera with him. Chance, McGowan, Smith. Loose ball. Found Lounder. Corrieville to ground with Geneva. And we'll have a ball up. So Chaplin asks Timmy Geneva to get off his mate. Potter tells Geneva not to push him around. So just all a bit exciting at times, isn't it? Corey Bill Long wants Tyler in front, over the top of him. Reimers, now Swert, with pace, does well in defence, gives it over to Saywell. Short to Hanley is good. Lounder's in space, the big fella, Smith will close. Up he goes, good take Smith in front, he'll be paid.
Yes, well done,
and rightly
Smith.
so.
Yep, about a metre, or probably about 6 or 8 inches difference there. Rowan Smith kicks 2, Darren Smith, good mark. Well, both you and Nipper made the point that he had to come into the game.
Yes, and whilst he's had his spasms in the game, he hasn't dominated, and full credit must go to Brian Herrera.
So here's Darren Smith. He knows it's over here, but they're trying to get back and perhaps save some face. It's a good kick. It won't quite make the distance. Reimers with his big fist, a timely fist. Angover's caught comprehensively. Stevens out wide. McGowan, who has done some very good things in this game, he's certainly played very well. That kick not so good to Foster.
Yes, he worked very hard to keep possession, but the chip around the corner not as good. Brown on the end of that kick from Foster. They've opened up the goals, and Brown kicked a couple in the third. He's too far out here. He'll put it in long. Tyler and Smith are both there. Let's see how the big men go. Crummer now, they need the magpies, but it's all the Dogs. Swert there, carries it out. He'll find Cummings. And Paul North East would be very happy to hear the siren here today at Elizabeth. And Mead sees it over the line. Ingerson there. He's been important too now. They dropped Grant Coffey. Yeah. A dangerous move. Grant Coffey sits 4th on the goal-kicking ladder. He's kicked only a couple last week. And reminding you, we're live and exclusive on ABC at Elizabeth Oval. And where the Dogs all more concerned about balance than anything else. And in round 9, they didn't have Ingerson or Laird in his side. Hanley, another great take. But they did have Tony Lynn. So they've beaten Port again with the benefit of Ingerson and Laird, but without Lynn and without Coffey. So they've got some depth here, and they're being managed pretty well by Stewart.
Poor Geister had to earn that one. Drop punt towards centre half forward. Lures in front. Oh, yes, no. Umpire didn't pay it. McGowan. Bit of an anti-climax there. McGowan out wide. Brian Herrera lumbers after it. Smith is with him. Also Trent Cummings. Yes, Trent Cummings inside 50. Avoids a couple of oncoming Port Adelaide players and then misses to the left-hand side.
I said his name again. I meant to say it silently, but it came out. I said, like North East must be sick of seeing him get the footy. I can't believe how well he's gone today. And he's a goal-kicking forward. And we haven't seen a lot of Central this year, but the reports that have come through about him have been all very, very complimentary. There's the crowd here today, 6,706, and as we've mentioned so often, a real improvement on previous crowds here at Elizabeth. Bondi, Collins, and out of bounds.
And yes, Neville, significantly, they're unbeaten out here. I say significantly, that's no good to them in the finals, of course. That one out of bounds on the full, so Stevens will take it. But it must have given them an enormous amount of confidence playing Port at home, knowing that they haven't been beaten here in 1993.
Well, indeed it does, and they're so well performed at home, they might have been worried about Football Park, but they beat South there last week by 52 points, so they proved they can play it on big arenas.
And 27 minutes in, they've proved it again today over Port Adelaide. League leaders and form side of 93. The Dogs making their claims for this year's flag. Potter now in traffic. Has Stevens. Collins steals it. He's clever. Ingerson. Fiachi first to it though. Off the ground he goes. Over the square. Lounder. He's played well close to the ground. McKay just left it behind. Slipped out of his hands. To ground goes Potter again. He's worked very hard. Collins there with Smith. And the clever Rowan Smith. Always uses the footy. We say that all the time, but he is clever. Prolific around the goals when he plays up forward. And Brown to Smith is good. He tried to go on with it. Finally gets it over to Geneva into the open goal, and the Magpies score their third goal for the quarter, the first one for Geneva.
22-14, 146 Central. And the Magpies, well, they get a late goal, 16 goals, 8. And Tim Geneva gets his first, as Neville said. Darren Smith setting this up, fumbled, then got it across to his rover. And he made no mistake from about 25 metres out, but it is too late. Too late, she cried. And Tim Geneva gets his first in the match. And the Port Adelaide bench, well, have a look at that. 22-14 to 6 goals, 16 goals, 8. Not a happy sight there.
No, it's a very sombre-looking bench, and you'd expect that. 146 the Dogs, 104 the Magpies. That's a margin of 42 points, and that's equal to I think the largest margin they've had for the day. I'll check that in a minute, but it's Scotty Stevens from half-back. Schwert, near centre wing. That's correct. So 42 points at the moment is the furthest they've blown out against the Maggies. Ingerson, well, Geister, I should say, in heavy traffic. Not happy with being played on in that situation. He kicked to Smith, then on to Burton. High to Smith in the forward line. Williams. Opportunity into the open goal, and he'll kick his third. So the Magpies never beaten, never dead. They want to make a statement before they leave this ground today, but they've been well beaten here at Elizabeth.
Yes, he's kicked one in the first, one in the third, and one in the fourth, Stephen Williams. And when he's on song, he is very, very good and very clever. And I think that might have been, yes, it was Laird falling over at the critical time there, and Williams making no mistake. So 2 quick goals. His third goal, as Neville said, 2 quick goals to Port Adelaide. We've got some final scores now in other matches. South Adelaide defeating West Adelaide by 92 points. A good percentage booster there. The Eagles defeating Sturt by 19 points. And don't forget our highlights match coming up, North and Norwood. Looking forward to that. Stay tuned for that with Stephen and David.
And the result of that too, pivotal on for the Dogs in their premiership bid this year. Particularly that third spot. Julian Burton now, around the corner he goes. He's after McKay and he's got him. He's a clever player. Short, Smith. Now Ango. Still plenty of run in their legs, the Magpies. From about 70 metres, he punches it in. Brown. Tyler's interfered with, or looked like it from here. Not quite, says the umpire. Around the corner, Williams again, but he's offline. And that reduces the margin to 35 points. And Jack Cale, not a lot to smile about.
Yes, he'd be disappointed with this, wouldn't he? Because they looked as though they were back on track last week with that big win against the Eagles. Although, having said that, the Eagles fought back in stages, didn't they, Neville?
Well, they did, and they did what the Dogs have done most of the day in spasms. The Dogs have been more consistent, is what I'm trying to say, and this is about just how they've done it. The little men have just kept coming into the game, and they keep hurting the Magpies by kicking goals. He's fourth.
Wonderful goal by Chapman.
Well, it was, and those little blokes have hurt Port Adelaide. Chapman's kicked 4, Corey Bell's kicked a couple, McGowan's kicked 3, and Cummings has kicked 6. There he was from over nearly 50 metres. Not a lot of breeze to speak about either. Had plenty of momentum though, and the little fella ran it through. There they are together, Cummings and Chapman, and between them they've kicked 9 goals. So that's a pretty good effort from small men.
And just have a listen to the chant. Third win in a row against Port Adelaide. It's been a marvellous performance. A quick hand pass to Schwert by McGowan was like lightning. Inside 50, Mead sensing an enormous amount of danger. Delaney away from that dangerous area. It's been up there a long, long time in this game, and Central District, a well-deserved performance, a well-deserved win, out of bounds far side.
Tell me, Mark, you follow form in other sports, and if you had to follow form in performance, would you back Central in a final at Footy Park against Port Adelaide, given that they've beaten them for the last 3 times?
Well, it's certainly an advantage, isn't it?
Answer the question.
Well, I will. I'll have a bit of a think about that. Central District win their 10th game for the season. The crowd go wild. It's wonderful scenes here. Have a look at this. The margin 41 points. 23-14 to 17 goals 9, and I think just as significantly, Port have lost their 3rd match in 4 matches. They did have a bye there, so in 5 weeks, the Magpies have won just one. But let's not take anything away from Central District. It was a big, big performance here at home. They remain undefeated. There's Tongaree, who was just a little astray, but he did do some brilliant things. The umpires run off. Tongaree just signing an autograph or 2. McGowan, who was very, very good as well. Corey Bell, who played well in patches. And this crowd here and the people around us are very excited. A lot of Port Adelaide fans staying, to their credit. Ingerson, who was vocal down there, and there's Brian Herrera, who, what a wonderful game he had, Neville.
Yes, he did. We've made mention of the fact that Darren Smith was very important, and he's always very important to Port Adelaide. He didn't play that badly, Darren Smith, but he didn't get to dominate, and Herrera was responsible for that. And number 7 for the Dogs, John Abbott, in his 2nd game, did a very, very good job at half-back, finally ended up at half-forward. The Dogs enjoying this and celebrating on the ground. They've got every reason to be very, very happy with that performance. As we've said, it's very important to them getting a double chance. Gurdon, their skipper, off the ground in that last quarter, presumably only with cramp, and it hopefully isn't anything permanent. They've been a very tough unit in the sense that they've been able to maintain some physical pressure on Port Adelaide. And as we said, that's the hardest thing to do with Port Adelaide. They intimidate you physically and mentally. You've just got to be able to keep it up and keep it up and keep it up.
Let's just have a listen to this ovation. Live here from the Elizabeth Oval as these very proud young men walk off. Tongaree goes off, Abbott, Reimers, Geister, and their coach.